Welcome to the NorCal Sports Network, where we're coming to you live as the Giants. I'm streaming, so I might be a little behind, but it's an 0-2 count, and it's outside, and it's 1-2. Might be over where you guys are watching. I've got.
I had the radio on, but I turned it off. I don't want it to bleed over.
Yeah, me too. I got my volume down. And Duvall, okay, here we go. The 1-2 pitch is low. So it's 2-2. Giants lead 2-0. Top of the ninth. I guaranteed a victory tonight, guys. And I said take the money line or the run line, meaning the Giants were favored by 1.5. They'd have to win by 2. So let's see if they can hold on and win this game 2-0. One more strike to go. Los has joined us now, and we've got the crew here. So,
all right,
Duvall is on the mound, 2-2 to Kelnick, the left fielder, and the pitch is grounded weakly but foul. Okay, just foul down the first base line.
Danny with the guarantee. I love it.
Yeah, I guaranteed it. I went out on a limb. I even took him in a parlay tonight. I don't know how my parlay's doing. I got to look it up. I was going for the big one tonight, but so we've got 2-2. And
I just got the notification, so you go ahead and go for it.
Here we go. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and the Giants win it 2-0 behind Alex Cobb's great pitching performance, and the bullpen holds on, and Duvall gets his 25th save, and the Giants go into a day off tomorrow, as predicted, with a victory. It's going to be a big, nice day off for the Giants. They needed it. I kind of thought they would struggle with the first 2 games coming in just because of the travel they had, and they still were kind of a little bit sluggish tonight. The bats are weak, and they're not showing up, but they got the performance out of Cobb. They win 2-0. They go into their day off with on a high note now. Now you can enjoy your day off with your family, and then you got the Rockies coming to town, and you can go ahead and look to, Giants should go in and look for a sweep, go into the break on a high note, and that will be really, really big boost for the Giants going into the second half. So
much needed win.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. What do you guys think? Eric, what do you think tonight?
Yeah, they needed to come out with that win, man. It was looking pretty bad there. You had a 4-game losing streak that, you don't want to get swept in your home park. You can't do that. Maybe they got their feet under them after all this travel. So yeah, it was a good win, especially like you said, going into the break. Had the Rockies come in and, take care of business against the Rockies and then go into the break. And hopefully
don't overlook the Rockies. Just go in, look for the, to crush them.
Right.
Go in for the crush. It was a big win tonight. They really, really needed it. And it would have been really rough if they had gone into this series and the day off tomorrow on a 5-game losing streak. So the Giants snapped the 4-game losing streak, and they're 7 over 500 now, 47-40. And Los, what do you think tonight?
Well, they got back on track, win it any way possible. Today was just a pitching performance. Still didn't hit great with men in scoring position, but it wasn't needed. So you take a win, and you know what? They're going to have to start getting hot because Cincinnati and Philadelphia have really picked it up.
Phillies won again tonight, beat the Rays in Tampa. That's the second straight night.
Might want to bring up the out-of-town scoreboard.
Yes, Cincinnati won again, 9-2. Yep. Before we get to the out-of-town scoreboard, we bring in Mark Hope's comment and donation. Thank you, Mark.
Appreciate it, Mark.
$5. He says, love the defensive lineup tonight. Yes. They backed up Cobb, scratched across a couple of runs. Hey, guys, shout out pitching and defense. Love it.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I was really excited. When I saw the lineup is when I went and made the guarantee. Plus, I felt like the fact that they had to win and, players, they think about those things. They don't want to go into tomorrow after, a long, it wasn't a long trip, but it was a week and it was a rough trip. You don't want to come home after a rough trip, get swept, and then have this day off. And it's like you're supposed to, you look forward to your day off. A lot of guys, they might hit the city with their families, go to Fisherman's Wharf, do something, or, whatever. Young guys just go out. You don't want to be like thinking, oh, crap, we've lost 5 in a row and it's 8 out of 9 or whatever it would have been, 7 out of 8, something like that. Just ugly. So I love the defense. So you're right, Mark. Casey Schmidt, it's the one thing I said the other night, and I'm happy to see Kapler the last 2 nights go with Casey Schmidt at second base and not go with the platooning stuff. So
yes, please.
Hey, can we get rid of the?
I got it.
You got him. Get rid of the loser of all losers. What a joke. Get a life, dude. All right.
Yeah, we're talking all the time, guys, about getting starting pitching, but get it done early rather than wait, because the Dodgers need pitching. Arizona needs pitching. Philly doesn't have great pitching staff, and neither does Cincinnati. So guess what? 4 contenders.
And there's only like 5 or 6 pitchers to get,
They're going to be going for the same guys. Yep. If you wait, you're going to miss out. So I think they're going to, over the break, really determine whether they're a contending team or whether they're not. Because if they are, maybe do something on the break. Because those 4 teams are going to go for pitching. And, quite frankly, the Dodgers, we know what kind of farm system they have. They can offer better prospects than the Giants. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think with the Giants situation, we'll be doing some special videos on this in the days ahead, maybe even as early as tomorrow. Talk about the prospects. And as I got to thinking about things, Los, I don't want to get rid of any of the big top guys, Luciano, Brown, McRae, Harrison, Wisenhunt. I was reading some of the all-time worst trades for the Giants, and when I read them, I thought, man, they got rid of George Foster in 71 because they thought they were didn't have room for him in the outfield, and that was Mays' last year with the Giants. I mean, you had Bonds, you had Mays, you had Henderson. It was like, okay, we don't have any room for George Foster, who was showing tremendous potential with power. Luciano, we brought up last night, Lowe's. I'm not sure if you were with us or not. He has 11 home runs in 40 of his 40 hits in Double-A. 11 are home runs. That's crazy. That kind of power. Once he figures out everything, he's only 20, years old or whatever he is. Gosh, hang on to that. Unless you give me a bona fide superstar coming back like a Juan Soto and Luciano's and that, I don't want any part of it. I don't want any part of, a rental for 2 months basically of somebody who's going to become a free agent. I really don't want a guy that's maybe just going to be a free agent after next year, which is Soto. I kind of want to hang on to these prospects because the odds of winning it all, despite Robert Rothberg's belief that the Giants are the best team in baseball, is not that great. I mean, if you look at the odds, it's like I can't remember what it was the other day. It's like 2 or 3% for the Giants to win it all. So, in fact,
just so you know, Von Braun had 2 hits today.
I love Von Braun, and I don't want to trade him.
His average is coming up.
It's coming up, and Will Clark loves him. I love him then, because if Will Clark says he's high on Casey Schmidt and Von Braun, then I am too, because Will knows baseball. And hey, guys, keep it right here. We're going to be going a while. There's just stay with us. We got 37 in the chat. Let's keep growing this chat. You guys, anybody, go ahead and put the link in. Anybody want to jump in? And Chardal, I'm going to hold off on you till later, toward we get to the wrapping of the end. So when we put this link in fact, we'll put the link in about 5 minutes.
Okay, let me wait on that. All right.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the parallel between the Giants and the Warriors in that for a long time neither one won, and they were okay with young guys and coming up and building together and rebuilding, and then all of a sudden in 2010, 12, 14 the Giants win 3 World Series, and in that same decade, towards the later part, the Warriors start winning. So the point I'm trying to make is, when now you're winning championships, now the thought and the mindset has changed. Now it's, oh, we think we're in it almost every year, when maybe sometimes you're really not. So having a rebuild, like somebody in the chat, I think it was AB, said, hey, trade some of these veterans, Yaz, Wade, Flores, and bring up the young guys, and let's have them all, blossom together in the next year or two, so they can be a good team, not just for a temporary 1 year, but they could be a good team for 6, 7, 8, 10 years.
I'm for together. I'm for that, Los.
I'm for that too, but I think most of the fan base is not. They want to try to
the odd, if you got a shot to get in, maybe you trade some mid-level prospects or whatever, but let's hang on to these guys that are showing a lot of potential and are progressing through the system. They're developing at, guys like Brown and McRae and Matos is here, and Luciano will be here, and Kyle Harrison should be here. In my opinion, Kyle Harrison probably has as good enough stuff as anybody out there on the trade market. So don't go chasing. You got a guy right there. Right. And you watch, mark my words right here. You're going to see Kyle Harrison come up right around August 2nd, August 3rd. There's a 60 days he can't be on the roster.
Yep.
And that's going to be like a trade for them. And then he can still be like a rookie next year. I don't know if they count the playoffs though. So I don't think they do they? I think they just count the regular season, don't they?
I think it's just regular season. Yeah. It can't be post. Yeah.
The last game of the season, it might even be closer to August 5th or 6th, because I think the last game of the season, if I'm not mistaken, is like the 2nd or 3rd of October. Let me check the schedule real quick here while you're doing it. Okay, yeah, October 1st. Yeah, so he'll be up around the 3rd or 4th of August. You watch. Maybe they won't make it that obvious. Maybe they'll wait till like the 10th, 12th.
But what do you guys think about that whole question about, since they've won championships in the last decade, has that changed the mindset of the organization? Are they less likely to rebuild? Has nothing to do with it?
It's
different
funny.
team.
I wish I knew. There really isn't anything that comes out that tells you what they're planning on doing. It's hard to I think that's what it is.
Well, the only reason I mentioned that, Eric, is when was the last time the Giants were sellers at the trade deadline? Think about it.
I couldn't even tell you.
Exactly. So they're always, even when they're not playing well, they're always in either
last year. Yeah, last year's a great example.
Buy. They have not been sellers in a long time. So that's why I think they have the mentality of, other than maybe last year when they should have traded Rodon and gotten something for him. They're not sellers.
How about this from AB? He said, trade these guys for starting pitching. Yaz, Wade, Jock Conforto, Davis, Flores, and then replace them with all the young hot bats in AAA and AA. Here's the issue, though. Isn't every single one of those guys Farhan guys? Every single one of them?
Jock, Conforto, Davis, yes.
First off, Yaz and Wade, oh my God, there's like a love fest going on with Farhan and Kapler with those guys. Remember when they signed them in the offseason? Yeah, Wade's having a good year. Yaz is doing okay, but it's just like their affinity for these guys is off the charts. I don't see them. I just don't see the organization trading that. I mean, it makes sense from a baseball perspective, but as far as how Farhan and Kapler feels about these guys, I just don't
Yeah,
see that.
I mean,
they're going to trade
I
prospects.
think if they can do a combination of selling and buying, maybe like they did when they got JD Davis and they made last year, and they gave up a little bit, but they, if you could thread the needle, just don't give up top prospects for, just don't give up those guys, because they're finally starting to produce, and, they're developing. There's a push within the organization. We're seeing guys get promoted constantly. Let's keep that thing going. Okay,
here's a question. Do you see the Giants trading for a top line pitcher?
No.
Do you think I don't see it.
They'll trade for a number 3 at best.
Yep.
Unless they got a shot at because of, with Chicago or something, with Stroman, but I don't know. Scott
Stroman's
Harris
value
is already
going way up, and you know what? It was a good point. I heard this on the radio earlier. These teams who have these starting pitchers they want to trade, they know that there's going to be the market's going to be going through the roof, so they're going to be looking for high.
I like that. I like that Yankee trade scenario for Jock Peterson.
Oh yeah, the one that Larry brought up the other night.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. I like that one too.
Yeah.
Tonight they won. Jock didn't make an appearance. They kept the bullpen. See, they only used the high leverage guys tonight. They used the Rogers brothers and Duvall. That's it. As long as they can keep those guys down.
That's the 7, 8, 9 guys. Yep.
Yeah, if you can get through 6, your starters.
Right.
And keep those back end guys where, you're not having to use them all the time. And hopefully you get ahead, more than 2 runs, and you have a 4 or 5 run lead, and you can maybe throw out a Tristan Beck out there in the 7th, or maybe he give you 2 innings or even 3, and give those other guys another day off. As many days off in a row, if you can get those relievers, if they only have to pitch, say, 3 days a week to hold victories, and the other wins, the other 4 days, maybe you win 2 of those, you go 5-2, but those other 2 wins, you don't need the high leverage guys because you're not in a tight game. Then you're going to be able to go to the distance. But if you're going to throw out these high leverage guys, 5 days a week, that's kind of worries me.
Hey, Robert, what did Kapler do that managed a great game? What were the moves that you liked that Kapler did that made him manage a great game?
Hey, how about the Mariners letting Logan Gilbert complete that game?
How about that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, so refreshing. He got up to like 80 pitches, and he was in a groove. Let him go. He's a young kid. He's got nasty stuff. I mean, very refreshing.
Cobb looked great today. Cobb looked really good today. It was good to see.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead and keep going, guys.
But yeah, I just want to know what exactly Kapler did that was so magnificent for the win today. Just want to know.
Well, Rothberg throws out compliments without having
nothing to back it up.
Justification.
But yeah, I'm telling you, Los, I've been calling this. I mean, I know it's going to happen. I don't. No, you weren't here yesterday. Once we found out that Mike Trout broke his hamate bone, Ohtani is going to be traded 100%.
What is the Angels' record right now? Just off the top.
Oh, shoot, I don't know.
They lost tonight and blew up my parlay. Thanks, Angels, to the Padres 5-3.
Are they in contention? Or are they?
Let's pull it up here. I'll pull everything up.
Kind of there, but with Trout going down, Rendon got hurt again. Yeah, I see a trade coming.
You want to see the standings or the scoreboard first?
How about
just the standings? Because I wanted to kind of make a little point about the Angels.
All right, let's pull this up here. We'll get the standings coming to you in 3 seconds.
He knew when to take Cobb out. Come on, man. That's not being a great manager. He went 6 innings. That's
pretty simple. Anybody could have called that. He was at 90 plus pitches.
Yeah, I know.
he knew when to take. He better know when to take Cobb out.
I mean,
at that point.
that's not magnificent, man. That's just
Okay. The
normal
Angels,
baseball.
they're not going to win the West, guaranteed.
Okay, yeah.
So
They're not
let's
gonna win
take
the
a look
West.
at the
So
wild card.
they're a 500 team.
Let's take a look at the wild card.
And you
here.
lost Trout.
Okay, so they're 4 games back and they're fading. So time, yep. I you know what? I would trade Trout too. I would just say,
Oh.
okay, he's coming off the IL at some point.
Yeah.
You can take his salary, and Angels are going nowhere. There's no way they get past. I think Seattle passes them. I think Cleveland passes them. And they're not going to catch the Blue Jays, Yankees, Astros, or Orioles. So,
Here's the reason I asked about the Angels, guys, and this opinion might not be popular with everybody here, but Ohtani, as dominant as he is, the Angels really haven't done nothing while he's there, and he's had one of the best players in the history of the game, hitting either in front of him or behind him. Now, I'm gonna stay consistent with what I keep saying. I would rather, if there were $60 million, I'd rather have 3 $20 million players, and have balance than throw everything at Ohtani. Because again,
agreed,
he is dominant, but he will give you one dominant start every 5 days, and then he'll sit for 4 days. And yes, he's a great bat, but if there's nobody hitting in front of him and nobody hitting behind him, he's not going to make as much a difference as he is.
Agreed.
Angels. He's not going to get that many good pitches to hit. I mean, he's got Mike Trout hitting in front or behind him to protect him. So,
all right.
Again, I'm not discounting his talent. I know how talented he is, but I'm just saying, for everybody that thinks Ohtani gets traded here and the Giants are just going to be this dominant 95 to 100 win team, no, you need more than that.
I tell you what, Ohtani's going to get traded, but he ain't coming to the Giants. He's going to go to the Dodgers. That's what's going to happen. He's going to get traded at the deadline. He's going to go to the Dodgers. Dodgers is going to give him the big contract, and he's going to finish out his baseball career as a Dodger.
Now he goes to the Dodgers. He'll be more of a difference maker because
they already got guys behind him.
Yeah, they got Freeman and Betts and Will Smith.
Exactly, Muncy. He's got protection. But here's the deal:
if the Giants trade for Ohtani and they get Murakami and have a little Japanese 3-4 hitters.
You know what? Hey, Lewis, we talked about this. How about we get me and you talked about this before, Lewis. How about we get Sasaki, the Japanese pitcher, and Murakami, the Japanese hitter?
Woo!
Right? Why not?
And we could be the San Francisco what's the the Tokyo Giants.
Tokyo Giants.
Yeah. We could put a middle name.
Yeah. Hey, take a look at these
Tokyo Giants.
These standings.
Oh, that would be a merchandising bonanza. Oh my God. And they would win because now you got 3 studs. That's what I'm talking about.
Problem is, are those guys going to want to come here? They try to get Suzuki. Wait, hold on. They try to get Ohtani. They try to get Suzuki. They try to get Singa. I mean, I don't know what the Giants have to do. They're going to obviously whatever their sales pitch is, it doesn't work.
We'll see somebody in the chat saying, it was that Mark Graves is saying, can Forehand sign 3 guys? I'll go back to what I said a few days ago. What Giants GM in the last 40 years has signed a big name free agent?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we like to rip on Farhan, and some of it is quite deservedly so. But why in the last 40 years haven't the Giants been able to sign, other than Barry Bonds and Barry Zito? Those are their 2 big free agent signings. Who other than them have they signed?
I tell you what, though, Giants are in a little bit different position now within the last couple of years. Well, not the ballpark being free and clear, but they're also just making a lot more money. So you can entice players with that. Because I think in the past, I don't think they wanted to really go out there and pay those big.
That's fair.
Yeah, they got the mortgage paid. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, exactly.
That's definitely
and you're
fair.
still not able to.
Exactly. So how long has the stadium been free or clear for? 6 years, 7 years?
Something like that.
And they're still missing on Judge. Thank God they missed out on Correa.
Right.
Hey, we got the update on the Dodgers.
They didn't get Bryce Harper.
Dodgers were trailing 4-0. They now lead 6-4.
All right, then.
They got a 3-run homer by J.D. Martinez, and then
Oh yeah, JD.
David Peralta hit a home run after that. So
Oh
they
my
just
gosh.
scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th.
I'm telling you, they're getting Ohtani. It's happening. I know it. I could feel it. There's a disturbance in the force. I know it.
So
Mario's not happy with Conforto right now. He said earlier he hopes he does not opt in.
And 2 weeks ago, we were talking about giving him a long-term contract.
Yeah.
A little bit, right? Some people in the chat were like, "Oh, can we re-sign him long-term?"
No.
Well, it's a streaky thing. We'll see how he does. I mean, he's still.
It's that hamstring. I'll bet you he doesn't have that lower half.
I wouldn't. Sign
I think
him
I think he's okay.
I
think he's okay too.
He was out in the field tonight. If you're out in the field, you can hit.
He's a solid player, but I don't know if I'd give him a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think let's see what we got with see what the pitching matchups might be on coming up here. Let's see. Friday. I think is it Gomber going for
you said I think you said Gomber. I remember you talking about that.
Okay, let's see. It's where the heck is Colorado? There we go. Gomber versus can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Undecided, yep.
Okay. So if we look at let's look at Saturday's game and see who Colorado is throwing. Okay, it's Connor Siebold against undecided. Jeez. What kind you got all these pitchers and you can't unbelievable. Okay, and then Sunday it's Webb. I know that against Freeland. So 2 lefties for Colorado. So that means look for Dalton Guthrie to come up this weekend. All right, you guys are hearing it right here on the NorCal Sports Network. You get
breaking
more
news.
Yeah, you get more insight here than any other channel. Okay, because I think like a real fan and as a GM, and I'm telling you, they're going to bring in right-handed reinforcements. They're facing 2 lefties. They're going to send Brent Wisely back down because they've got the infield with, and they may go with an extra bat. And Dalton Guthrie is on the 40-man roster, so it doesn't take any real, it takes no roster manipulation to get somebody onto the 40. So that's
Danny with the inside information. Love it.
It's not inside. It's just kind of a hunch.
Okay.
I just think they go with they need some pop right now. He's a guy with a big bat, or you'll see if they want to go infield, they'll bring up David VR this weekend. You watch.
How about this? I like what Robert Duville says. How about Ramos?
Ramos cannot come up until July.
Oh, that's right. Because he's got that stupid.
He's on the 60-day IL.
Yeah, never mind.
So
disregard.
I think it comes down to what did I say this guy's name was? Dalton what?
Guthrie.
Okay, I couldn't find him on the right. I couldn't remember his last name. It's either him or David VR.
Do we want David VR back up?
Not really.
It's just for a few days.
Yeah.
It's just to replace Brett Wisely.
You know what though? It might be Guthrie for the simple fact that they've brought up VR a few times. You're going to burn how many times you can bring him up.
His options up for the year.
Is this kid Meckler? Is he an outfielder?
Yep.
Yes.
Damn, they have a lot of outfielders.
I know they do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I mentioned this before, come for trade deadline. Not everybody is going to be able to be on the roster. So you got to identify who you want to trade and who you want to keep.
Well,
because you can't keep everybody.
And I mean, let's face it, guys, we have the DH now in the National League. So maybe instead of thinking about just bringing up a positional player, you're bringing up a bat that's going to make a difference in that lineup. And who's hitting best right now?
Yeah, Justin
at the AAA level.
Good point, Justin. I think Dustin May. He's just having surgery. This is July. I don't think he comes back till 25.
Yep.
There's no way
he may not even come back until. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
he'll be back to start at 25. That'll be
you're right.
Like 20 months. They're not going to push him to get, after two.
After back to back, like
he just got off the whole thing he missed all of last year with Tommy John, and they're not going to. Okay, well, let's rush him and see if we can get him for the last 2 months. And this will also keep Walker Buehler out this year too. I don't see him coming back.
All the more reason they're going to go after pitching.
Yeah, Dodgers will go after pitching, and if they can get Ohtani, they got 2-1.
Although the Dodgers have some young arms that are pretty nasty, like maybe they don't need to go after.
This is why I'm saying that they're going after Ohtani, because you got Dustin May going down, you got Buehler who's down, who Ned said may come back in a bullpen maybe at the end of the year.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
You
got Kershaw that's on the IL. You got Urias who's sucking right now. They're going to go after Ohtani. I mean, they have the farm to do it, and they're going to do it. They're going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see how things happen. But this is getting back to tonight's game. Some great plays in the infield by Casey Schmidt. Let me see while you guys carry. Let me see if I can put some highlights in here tonight. I'll be back here. I'll still be in the background, but you guys go ahead and carry between yourselves and the chat. Flores, big night tonight, as Robert Rothberg pointed out. He had 3 hits.
Yeah,
that is one professional ball player. Like,
yes,
he could sit for 3 weeks and play and go 2 for 4.
And he's deadly against lefties.
Yes, he is.
That's why he was in there.
He's kind of been a lost guy on the roster. Hasn't complained, but man, he's solid. He's just a solid professional player and a good hitter. I like Wilmer in the clutch.
Yeah, why not? I mean, he's proven that he could do it, especially against the lefty. So that was a good call that they had.
How did Casey do at the plate tonight?
I don't think he even got a hit, but he had some solid hit balls. Just found gloves. Matos had 2 hits, had a triple, 2 hits and a walk. So, hey, there you go. That's all you can ask for Matos.
Let them work through their issues. Got to be patient.
Absolutely.
I mean, if they get to be David Villar levels where they're hitting 160 or something,
exactly,
then we might have an issue. But
that was kind of and I felt bad, and it was hard to do that for Schmidt. Again, an injury is presenting a what do you want to call it? An opportunity for Schmidt to play every day. If Estrada didn't go down, you wouldn't be seeing Schmidt out there. It'd be Estrada out there every day. So with Estrada going down, now they're forced to have to play Schmidt. So, but that's what you need. He needs playing time. Sitting on the bench, to a certain extent, you could learn some stuff. But man, the guy just needs to go out there and continually to play, whether it's in the major leagues or in AAA.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely he needs to play, and it was a really good move for the Giants to be able. I mean, not
his defense saved some runs probably today, right?
Oh yeah. His defense is stellar. I mean, Casey Schmidt is probably. I shouldn't even say probably. He's already better defensively than Tyro Estrada.
Oh yeah. Base. His defense is.
He's got soft hands. His glove. It's really, really top notch.
And his range.
Yes, and his range. You didn't lose anything defensively at all. In fact, you gained probably.
Yep.
So hopefully, they're able to hold the fort down. And
okay, here's the thing that we probably need to address too. Again, getting hits with runners in scoring position. My goodness, speaking of that triple with Matos, he hit that triple with 1 out, and with 2 other outs, they couldn't even get another run across. 2 runs. Yeah, it won you the game. That's fine because you had stellar pitching, but that offense, something needs to happen because my gosh, how many runs have the Giants scored since that last game in New York?
Not many.
Not many.
Not many. Let me see if I can find this clip here.
And that's what's needed when September comes around.
Even August, the
Even
temperature's
August.
going to rise.
Even in August.
That's when usually hitters really come alive in August because all the pitchers are worn down, their shoulders are aching. Unless you're Anthony DeSclafani and your shoulder kind of goes bad in June. But yeah,
they need to trade for a veteran like Scudero. That was such an under the radar move.
That was a great.
They got
move,
him from Colorado, I believe Colorado.
Yeah,
and I forgot who they got him.
Let's listen to
cash
some
considerations. I think
some Casey Schmidt. Yeah. Let's take a look at some Casey Schmidt defense since we're talking about Casey Schmidt in the infield.
Nice.
Here we go. Hold on. Get the volume up a little bit. I don't think there's any volume in this video anyway, but we'll have.
Let's make sure.
Where did my video go? There we go. Nope. Hold on. It's coming. I don't know what's going on here. We got to go up. Here we go. Nice defense.
That was good.
Yes. Thought I'd play a little bit of the stuff straight from StreamYard, rock versus some of the other stuff, so they don't flag that music and then flag, they played a video,
Yeah, exactly, right. So gotcha.
I think that music's a little bit more well known, that it's all over the place. Yep. It's on other channels. So what do we got? Thank you, Mark, for Greg Dayton says, thank you.
Giants
Mark.
Need, it's up here. I put it up there.
Giants batters need to work on the opposing pitcher. Too many. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of their forte, is taking pitches, but not, I mean,
these last few games, they're not taking
0 for 7 and 0 for 7 in runners in scoring position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and they were not facing a very dominant pitcher tonight.
I mean, it was freaking. They just called him up. They just called up Malone for the start today. See what I'm saying? They should have really nailed this guy, but they still got the win. But it's still, it makes you a little bit, concerned about what the lineup is doing.
It doesn't sound like.
Well, Giants trade Charlie Culberson for Blockbuster.
Oh, that's who they traded for Scudero?
Is that who it was? Or was it Culberson? Okay. I thought it was cash consideration. It might have been Culberson.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as I've been watching Giants baseball, I don't remember maybe Will Clark in the NLCS against the Cubs, but Scudero was barreling everything.
Everything.
12 playoffs. Everything. There's nobody I wanted up with men in scoring position more than him.
Yes.
That's the kind of guy. Man,
there we go. Cool. And
can they get my boy? Can they get my boy from the Marlins that's hitting 392?
Oh yeah, right. They ain't gonna get him.
He's in contention.
Mark, another donation. Appreciate it. $5 says Los. Great point regarding Marco Scudero. Makes me think of Ryan Terrio. I like that. And a guy like Chris Spire, just tough guys to play the infield and hit with runners in scoring position.
Right on, Mark. I'll take that 5.
I like that. Terrio was good in 2012.
Chris Spire was one of my favorite players growing up. And when I was a freshman in high school, I had this you're 15 in high school, 14, 15 in freshman. Let's see, 15, 16. I think I was 15. And I had this nice babe as a substitute teacher for like 2 months.
Attaboy, Danny.
And she was like 22, 23-ish. She was nice. She even let me drive her car once. She dated Chris Spire, though.
How many apples did you give her?
But she did. What I remembered about her is she dated Chris Spire. So I was like, "You dated Chris Spire, really?" So it was kind of cool when you're 15.
Only OG Giants fans remember Bill Madlock and and how good of a hitter he was.
Yes.
And they shipped him off, I think, to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Well, that's something. That's one of the things we're going to be talking about. Tomorrow, right, Dan? Maybe with the trades.
Yeah. We're gonna do a little trade thing, and but yeah, I see we got our loyal people staying with us. Thank you guys. So yeah, we'll keep it real here. We'll have some fun and shoot. I mean, we got to give. Am I getting an echo there?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. I was saying we got to get some sound in here for who's the star of the game tonight?
Cobb. If it wasn't for him, who knows how many runs the Mariners would have.
Give it up for Alex Cobb.
Give it a little bit of volume there. There we go.
Yeah. How about Lamont Wade knocking in really the only run of the game that was an RBI?
Yeah.
And who else we got? The bullpen.
Oh, the bullpen. Yeah.
The bullpen. Come on, bullpen. We got to give. How about a horn?
There we go.
The foghorn coming
Yeah.
into the bay, coming into the cove. Look out, baby!
And that is it. It's not Ohtani coming into the bay. Nope.
Yeah, who? If I could predict what the Giants would do, let's see. I think they're going to go for. I see them bringing in some type of an outfielder that's from the right side that'll give them some pop.
Okay, here we go, Dan.
I'm going to predict. Here's my prediction. He's going to come back to the Giants after never putting on a Giants uniform at the major league level. He will be a Giant sometime later this month, and that is Adam Duvall. There you go. That's the kind of guy that the Giants can pick up to give you a little help on the bench, play some right field or, play some outfield. And when you need some right-handers and you're facing a lefty that's had playoff experience, World Series experience, won a World Series, still got some power, and you're not going to have to give up a lot at all. And those are the kind of moves that I would make going forward. And I'd maybe pick up a fourth or fifth starter, just somebody that can give you innings. And maybe you pick up another reliever. And that's about what you're going to have to go with.
So will the fans be doing this after the trade deadline? Or will the fans be doing this? What do you think? Let's be honest here.
Let's ask Robert Rothberg. Robert, if you got Adam Duvall and a fourth or fifth line starter, but you were giving up, mid-level prospects for these guys, are you going to be happy about that, or would you rather have them give up a Luciano and a Matos and somebody else along those lines for a frontline number 1 or 2 starter for this year? Let's hear it from the chat.
Yep.
You guys want some hang on to the top prospects and make some trades that give you a shot, kind of like, the Giants, the Michael Morris's type guys, or the drawing a blank, the guy that hit the 2 home runs in come on. It's right at the tip of my tongue.
Cody Ross?
Ross, thank you. A Cody Ross type guy. Are you going to be happy with a Cody Ross type guy,
Lightning in a bottle.
guys like that, or are you going to want to star and get rid of some of your top prospects?
I don't want to
So,
star at the trade deadline.
Robert says I advocate getting a quality pitcher. Well, when I say you got to be real specific. You want a number 1 or 2 at the least, top of the rotation pitcher, Robert, and you're going to have to give up some of your top prospects for that, or you're going to be happy with going in with Webb and Cobb and Kyle Harrison as your 3 guys that if you go into the playoffs and then you mix and match between Stripling and Wood and Junis, and you get that becomes your 4th guy. But you have 3 guys that can give you some length, because they'll stretch Harrison more when he comes up to San Francisco. You watch. They're not going to keep him at 80 pitches. They're going to let him go 100. And so tell me what would you guys rather do? Would you rather have because if you want to star a 1 or 2, you may have to give up Kyle Harrison. And he's what, 21? Yep. And now you're blowing the future for a chance. Let me tell you what the odds are right now for the Giants to win the World Series if you were betting on it. And let me just open up my book here, and I'll tell you in just a sec.
I'll guess and say plus 1,800.
Okay, World Series. San Francisco. Plus 3,000.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You got the Braves at plus 360. Tampa, 460. Dodgers plus 480. Rangers plus 1,000. Astros plus 1,000. Yankees plus 1,500. Phillies at plus 2,400. Blue Jays 2,500. Or Twins plus 2,700. D-backs 2,800.
Wow.
Giants 3,000 along with the Orioles. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 teams ahead of is what the odds makers.
What's Cincinnati, Danny?
Cincinnati is 6,000.
Wow.
That's a good bet.
Wow.
I don't think they're going to do anything.
I don't think the Giants are going to do it.
Yeah, but you might bet on the Reds because you never know. Bet before the trade deadline because they might get somebody, and then you're like,
their lineup is
young,
here's
the question.
Athletic, and they can hit.
Now the league winners,
they get some pitching.
Just for the National League. Just for the National League, the Giants are 1, 2, 3. They're 4th, tied for 3rd at plus 1,200. It's the Braves, and then the Dodgers. 155 for the Braves, 210 for the Dodgers, and then 1,200 for the Giants. And then if you took the division, which I did, I got the Giants at plus 1,900. And the Giants are right now at plus 650. So if I went to my bets on here, I bet you they're gonna buy me out early. They're offering me cash out. Yeah, not much. It's actually interesting. It was I only put $50 down to win $1,000, but they basically cashing me out the other day at 123. Now they're down to 94 cash out. So maybe they think, interesting, the odds are got better for the Giants to win the division. They're now now wait a minute. Oh no, okay, yeah.
If you take away the Giants' 10-game winning streak, they're basically a couple games under 500, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if the team is fully healthy, I think they can be a contender, for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
they have enough guys having good enough years,
Okay.
And they would need to get.
Los, let me ask you this question. I asked this to Dan yesterday.
Yeah.
As the team is currently constructed, can the team win a series against the Reds?
No. I think the Reds are better right now.
What about the Diamondbacks?
Man, they seem to own
Yeah.
the Diamondbacks as good as Arizona is, but I would say 7-game series.
Well, here's
Arizona's
when you
pitching is kind of trash too.
if they get out of this series against Colorado and they're healthy, I mean they don't get any more injuries, they're going to go in to the second half relatively full strength minus Estrada. Now, yes, Haniger's out, but I really don't count Haniger as
Yeah, he hasn't been much.
I mean, he didn't give you much anyway. So would it be nice to have his bat in the lineup or on the bench? Absolutely, because he's probably, he's a threat to go long. And he can play you good defense. So I think, you got Matos. I think let's go around. You got at first base, you're going to have Wade. Second base, you got Schmidt. Shortstop, you got Crawford with Schmidt backing up. Third base, you got Davis with Schmidt backing up. Left field, you're going to have combination, whether it be Slater or Sable. Center field, you got Matos and Yaz. Right field, you got Yaz. And, what you're going to have pretty much you'll have, you got Jock as a DH. You may see a trade or something where, they count on Sable to be the DH, but I think they're going to stick personally. I see them probably sticking with Jock unless they get a really good offer because of the experience. You don't want to go with all rookies when you're chasing a playoff spot.
Well, here's what I'm really trying to get at. If depending on what the Giants' moves are, you got to remember you're going to be facing some pretty top tier teams, and I said this yesterday. All roads are going to lead through Atlanta. So if you're just kind of making marginal moves, is that going to put you that much closer to beating teams like the Reds and the Diamondbacks and the Atlanta Braves, Dodgers? They're a mess, but yeah, exactly. So why even? I don't know. Why even make the moves? Yeah,
right. Yeah, I know. Just say it. Like, why even?
Well, there's no reason. There's no reason to be overly aggressive and make moves just to make moves to show.
It's about the future, though. Correct?
Yeah. Don't blow the future because look, these guys are going to struggle for a year or two. They're not going to be. But do you want a fun team that's going to keep you, going out to the yard, that's competitive, that you grow up with them, watching their bumps and bruises, and then all of a sudden, second year. Look at the difference between Robbie Thompson and Will Clark, 86 Giants versus 87 Giants. Let's see what these guys can do. I mean, you're looking at next year of guys like, an infield of Wade and Estrada and Schmidt and JD Davis, possibly Marco Luciano. If he continues to develop at what they're looking for this year at AA and gets promoted to AAA for a couple of months, has a couple of, does well there. And again, this team is everybody's not super, super excited about this team anyway. Look what Lou Martian says right here. A lot of empty seats tonight. It was pathetic. This is a team that, you're in the July 4th week. You got a Wednesday night game and you got, you've had a great run recently and, the place ought to have the minimum of 30,000 on a team at this level.
Hey, real quick, we got like 3 super chats from the same guy here.
Oh, let's go for it.
You got Mark Hope says, "I wanted Trout. Looks like he's a fringe Hall of Famer now."
Oh, he's a Hall of Famer.
And Dan, you mentioned it. He might be on the trade block. Maybe, you never know.
No, but he's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer, but I think I wouldn't really want Mike Trout at this point because of his
not in
contract.
this part of his career. Yeah.
Too expensive and declining.
Yeah, declining.
And here we go. He also says,
"I want the arrow going up."
San Francisco is wild card worthy. But in my opinion, I'm not going anywhere. So
I agree.
And lastly,
the Padres are starting to pick it up, as MF says. They are starting to pick it up. The Padres.
Regarding Crawford, he's unsigned. Does he walk or retire? I think he retires.
I think he walks, and I think he signs with Arizona. He lives in Scottsdale.
Yeah, he could very well do that. Him and Longoria back in the left side of the infield.
Yeah,
he's either going to do that, or if the Giants talk to him and tell him, "Look, you're going to be kind of a platoon guy at short, and maybe if we need you at third, and we're going to sign you to a 1-year deal at $5 to $7 million, and he becomes kind of a mentor to the team, and he kind of becomes like the elder statesman, and he's like, okay, I'm no longer the guy, but heck, he can still play good defense."
You bet, Mark. I got you, man.
So
real quick before you get there, real quick, Los.
Yeah.
Senior has been talking a lot. Sounds like he's saying there's reports that Buster Posey has put his house on sale in Atlanta. He's saying that there's been a lot of talk about him moving back from people that I know in the East Bay. He had a realtor. He was in town just 3 weeks ago. What type of Dan, you just talked about being a mentor. What do you think Buster Posey's future for the Giants are? And
heck, send him down to Arizona for 8 weeks, get him in shape, and go for the stretch.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, here we go. I know. Senior said maybe that it leads to a potential managing position in the future. But can he do that, having an ownership stake, or does he have to sell that?
I don't know why he couldn't.
Can you be an owner and be a manager?
He has enough money to have both houses. I'm not sure why he would. Go back and forth.
It may be something, it may be nothing, but yeah, it's going to be interesting.
He's probably moving to a better house in the Atlanta area.
You know what you can get in Atlanta for $2-3 million, and
like
he lived in, I believe, either Lafayette or Moraga.
Yeah,
same house is about 16 million, maybe 20. Anyway, what I was going to say, guys, is we've talked at length about the young guys, but I want to kind of focus on 3 veterans. This to me is a little bit of one of many keys on the Giants' second half. So the 3 veterans that more or less play every day when they're healthy, that are having good years, are J.D. Davis, Lamont Wade, and Yaz. So my question is, of those 3 guys, those 3 veterans, in order, 1, 2, 3, which ones do you see being consistently steady and still being good in the second half? Which ones might drop off? To me, I think J.D. Davis has more of a consistent track record. I think he will be fine. Yaz and Wade are close. They're having great years so far, but Yaz has, hit in the low 200s the last 2 years. Can he sustain what he's doing in the first half? Wade has been incredible. I don't know if he can sustain that, but I'll leave it to the rest of the chat and you guys. What do you think about those 3 guys? Who do you feel the most comfortable with? 1, 2, 3 in order about doing well in the second half.
Name those 3 again. I was
J.D. Davis, Wade.
Go ahead. J.D. Davis, Lamont Wade, and Yaz. 3 veterans having good first halves. Is it sustainable?
I would say I'll go with Yaz just because he's had less wear and tear. He's been out for a while, so he's missed. And J.D. Davis looks like a guy that could stay in there, but he could tire out a little bit. He's striking out a lot lately, and he's
he needs to be platooned a little bit more.
I don't think platoon. I wouldn't platoon him. I just
maybe
give him
70% of the starts.
Yeah, maybe 80. I just give him a day off a week.
Yeah.
Give him a day off a week. Here's my plan before Estrada got hurt. And this was to keep Schmidt in the lineup and keep the lineup rested, was let Davis have a day off, let Estrada have a day off a week, and give Crawford 2 days off, and let Casey play 4 days a week. And then the other guys, Crawford gets the bulk at shortstop. The other guys at second, third, because Casey was on the verge of being sent down.
Yeah.
He really is. But Estrada going out kept him up because they don't have, anybody really else other than Wisely and Diaz, to play infield that's on the 40. So, this is my my feeling is that Davis still needs a day off a week. You can put Wisely or whoever at second and move Casey over to third. Give Davis a day off a week. Give Crawford, still give him a day off. You just gotta let these guys get some rest because it gets really gruesome, especially the second half. They open with 11-game, no days off because of the Detroit makeup game. That was their day off. Damn. So they've got to go 4 cities in 11 days. So check this out. They open up next Friday, a week from Friday, in Pittsburgh. Okay. And then on Monday, they go to Cincinnati for 4 games. And then they go to Washington for 3 games. And then they fly back. Instead of coming home, they got Detroit. So they stop over in Detroit. Fortunately, it's a 1:00 game. And then they fly back. They'll probably 1:00 game. They get out of there 6. They'll get home by 9:00 with the time change. So they'll be home at a decent time, and then they got a night game at home against the A's for 2 nights, and then they get a day off. So it's not as bad as even though it's a longer road trip, it's not as horrible of a schedule time-wise. So, but you got 1 day off after the break until you get July 27th off, and then you don't have a day off until August 4th.
That's brutal.
So that's 2 days off in 3, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 2 days off in 22 days. You got 20 games in 22 days. So, but the good news, I think, is that I think you're going to get Estrada back in early August. I don't think that is a 6-week injury because I think he lucked out and it didn't hit him square up. It hit part of his plastic hand guard, and so
hopefully
he said
I haven't heard anything about surgery yet. He hasn't gone under the knife, has he?
I don't think he has to.
Oh, he doesn't have to.
I don't think he has to, but I do think,
because I know there was still more coming out. They didn't know the severity. They saw the MRI showed a fracture, but there was no prognosis after that. I haven't heard.
I think somebody had, was it Trout that had surgery or is having surgery?
Trout had surgery today.
Yeah. Okay.
Real quick, Mark Hope with another $2. He says, Dan, I love Ramos. Keep? Question mark. Trade Luciano? Thoughts?
All right. Well,
Mark Hope, I'm curious as to why you're talking about Helio.
Yeah,
Elliott.
Yep.
I'm really curious why you like Elliott.
He's no age.
He's had a while.
Silent H.
Elliott.
Yeah.
Elliott Ramos. Yeah. I'm curious.
I'll tell you why here's my thoughts on
I liked him too a few years ago, but
I think he's got,
I don't know, what is he, 25, Danny?
Only 23. I'm hanging on to Ramos.
You're still hanging on him? Okay.
Yeah, just because of his age. He's only 23.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
he's doing well right now. Since he's come back from doing his rehab, he's doing well.
Weren't they kind of like working with his stance or something like that? And he was showing
swing
good results?
In the off season, I played his interview last night.
Sounds like they shortened his stride to the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
was too long to the ball.
He's got a lot of power. He's got speed. His goal this year was 20-20. 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases. I believe, let me see when he turns 24. Ramos, 23 years old. He will be 24, if this tells me, on September 7th. So he'll be 24 pretty much all of next year. If I get a really good offer, which I don't think you would, just because he hasn't really performed at any level, that shows that he's like star, but I will keep Ramos, and I'm keeping Luciano. I'm not getting – if a guy's already got 11 home runs out of his 40 hits, that guy's got raw power. I mean, he's got 30 home run potential, and everybody who sees him says, star all over him. I'm going to take a look and see what Ramos actually did tonight, and I'll tell you here in just
I know he had at least one hit. I don't know if he had another.
I said Ramos. I mean
Ramos.
Luciano. I'm going to tell you
Luciano had one hit.
Okay, Luciano tonight, he went 1 for 3, 2 RBIs, and
2 strikeouts.
He did not hit a home run. Okay, I was thinking 2 RBIs, maybe he hit his 12th, but 1 for 3. He's up to 225. I mean, that's moving up from where he was. He was like 180 for a while.
Come on.
He struck out once in 3 official at bats. His OPS is 812. Meckler 3 for 4. Am I looking at today's game here?
No, that was yesterday's
No, that's
game.
yesterday. Gosh, I'm looking at the wrong game. Sorry.
Real quick, Robert, come on, AAA stats. What are you supposed to do when you're in AAA, AA, single A, low A? Aren't you supposed to have stats? Isn't that the standard that you use to determine what players you want to promote and get to the big leagues? Come on, man.
Hey, Robert, Patrick.
Do they mean something in the major
Bailey
leagues?
was hitting
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They mean absolutely nothing in the major leagues, but they mean everything to get to the major leagues. Come on. You're smarter than that, Robert. I know you are. Come on.
Eric gets worked up with Robert. What's the deal with the stats here?
He just says you're just reading off AAA stats, but that there's substance there. That's what you use to determine what your guys are going to do. If they suck, if they're batting 150 in AAA, do you think they're going to make the major leagues? Hell no. But if they're batting 390 something, are they going to make it to the major leagues? Hell yes, they are. Come on, dude. Come on.
Get him, Eric. Get him.
Eric getting fired up here on the NorCal Sports Network. Matos hit a homer in 6 consecutive games in AAA. What happened? Well, it's a little different level of pitching up here.
It is.
And sometimes
everyone understands that.
Sometimes you also get into a role. And it's possible the Giants waited too long to bring him up when he was smoking hot. You saw he started off hot. Guys don't stay hot all year long. It's part of the game. It's,
it is.
Every player
There's
is
ebbs and flows.
Up and down.
Exactly.
I mean,
but that's
Wade
what you got to use.
And Robert, you of all people should know that as long as you've been watching the game, how long of a season is, and you're just
right.
You're just gonna have hot
times
and you're gonna have bad slumps. It's just how it is.
It just doesn't make sense. I mean, if you're gonna promote somebody, you promote someone who's showing you that they got some skill, and if they don't, the numbers are going to reflect.
Meckler went
except
tonight.
If you're Patrick Bailey and hit 221 and still come up and rake.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
He's going to come back down to earth. I don't even. He may.
Yeah,
not
I think he's a 260, 270 hitter.
He may not even hit 250 this year for the Giants. He's
that. He's on my fantasy team. Don't say that.
Robert,
I'm just
so you know,
being realistic because he's a rookie. He's never showed hitting that high in lower levels. I
just want you to know, I don't want you to take it personal. I'm just saying, when you come out and say stuff, just be ready to answer for what you say. That's all I'm saying.
Wade Meckler went 0 for 4 tonight with 4 men left on base. Von Brown 2 for 4, 3 ribbies, up to 272. Luciano 1 for 4, 2 more strikeouts. I mentioned Baracota, the kid who just got moved up from Eugene to
Yeah, it was
Richmond,
rough. He had a rough game.
He went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Welcome to the next level.
Yep.
Jimmy, the Twinkie, the glow winky doll. That name, it just cracks me up. I swear I picture if he ever makes it to the major leagues, it's Jimmy Glow Winky bobblehead, and they'll have a little light inside of his bobblehead that glows.
He's on.
I agree with Mitchell and I agree with Mitchell and Ness. I think the Giants are a year or two away.
Yes.
I think
to see them accumulate more young talent and kind of do it the way the Astros did it. Just bring a lot of young guys and let them learn, and then they all get kind of good at the same time, and then you got a special team, not just barely fighting for a playoff berth, like a good team. And
I think I know where you're at with this, Los. Kind of goes back to your whole three guys, your JD Davis, Wade, and Yaz. Are they part of the Giants' future?
No, they're not.
And if they're not part of the Giants' future, then it makes sense. And I saw Haruku say it. You got to sell high. You don't want to sell low. So, I mean, the problem is, I think they're still under arbitration, right? I think Yaz and not JD Davis.
I mean, let's be real, guys. Let's be real. We could go through the Giants, all their veterans, and the only one that I see as being long-term is Estrada.
Probably
Flores
right.
Is not long-term.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yaz is not long-term. Slater is not long-term. Jock is not long-term. JD is JD. Maybe.
Wade could be.
Like JD more than
Wade could be.
JD's
only 29.
Yeah, he's not that. I wouldn't mind JD.
JD's 29.
JD was supposed to be a backup first baseman, backup third baseman. He was forced into action because Villar couldn't hit.
No, he's 30.
And then, and they said JD Davis didn't have a glove. That's why he wasn't going to play every day. Guess what? He has a pretty good glove. Villar didn't hit, so he's now in the lineup playing every day. And Danny's right. He's probably a little bit worn down, could use a break. But he was supposed to be like a spot starter at third.
Yep.
A spot starter at first base.
Well,
and then what happened? Wade was better. Wade was better than what we thought. So that took into Davis's time at first base. So now Wade's getting all the at-bats. So, things change.
Wade is 29 and Davis is 30. Wade may be a guy you go with over the next 2 to 4 years. Because he's starting to figure it out as he's healthy. He's starting to hit left-handed guys. He's, I've seen him drive the ball, knock in runs, sack flies this year, left-handed off a lefty like he did tonight. He's not giving you the at-bats he gave you the first 2 years with the Giants from the left side, where he just looked like he couldn't,
lost. He was lost.
He looked like a little leaguer facing Nolan Ryan. It was just like really bad. So he's improving. So he might be part of the future. But as they continue to develop guys that, can play spots, first base, I'm still not giving up on Joey Bart, who's only 26. I just don't think you need to create a catcher controversy. Just, Giants. I'm not saying Patrick Bailey and Joey Bart, not even close am I saying this, that they're Willie McCovey and Orlando Cepeda, but there was an issue with those two guys because they both played first base and they stuck McCovey out in left field. Had McCovey been able to hang it on and stay out there in left field, you could have had McCovey and Cepeda and Mays all through the 60s.
Yep.
And the Giants probably would have won 2 World Series at least in the 60s had they kept Cepeda.
Okay. Hey, Dan, how about this? Who has the bigger upside, Bart or Ramos? I know that's a tough one, huh?
Well, Ramos
has got
some speed and he's 23.
He's got speed and power.
but catchers are hard to come by. The reason
That's
I wouldn't get rid of Bart is, you can have a guy as your back. He could be your platoon first baseman and your catcher that catches twice a week. The backup catcher's role is to basically give the starting catcher a break. It's, you can't put a guy back there 6-7 days a week. It's just, they'll wear out. They just wear out too fast. So I just think Bart is a quality catcher. He's got a great arm. He's a big backstop. He's gotten better defensively. Don't give up on him just yet. Let's see what he can do as he hits. Can he figure it out? And if he can't, go ahead and move on from him after this year. But see what he does down in Sacramento. I think you'll see Joey Bart up this weekend. I mean, not this weekend, this year sometime. That's another guy you could bring up possibly this weekend if you wanted to put well, they can't do it because Tyro's gone. I was going to say you could put Flores at second.
I'd like to see him play a little first.
Yeah, I want to see Bart play some first base. I would be working him out at first base, and guy's 26. Is he going to be an all-star? Doubtful. But can he be a serviceable guy that can get you 10 plus home runs, backup catcher? And look at the flexibility you would have if you had Bart up here with a right-handed bat, and now you can pinch hit if you need to pinch hit. You got him, and then you've got Sable. You got all kinds of weapons that you can use to bring in an extra catcher if you need to, to do that. So
I don't know how much longer they have control of Bart under contract, but I would bet
quite a while.
They still have him under control for a few more years.
Oh yeah. He's not even arbitration eligible.
Okay.
Hey,
but
Dan.
the reason I say that is I would almost suspect that Bart's agent in his ear would be like, the Giants have no confidence in you. They've sent you down. Now Bailey's ahead of you. Do you really want to be a first baseman for your career here, or do you want to move on? So yeah, they might have him under control for a little while, but Bart, if he wants to make things a little bit dicey, he could go into management and say, get me out of here. Let me start fresh somewhere else. And
they have Bart under control through 28. Through 28. Okay.
Yeah.
So
damn, those rookie contracts last a while.
So you could become a just a backup catcher in the league. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with a back. I mean, he's cheap. And why wouldn't you keep Bart as a backup catcher over a Kurt Casale? Yeah. I mean, Bart's, how old's Casale? Like 34?
Yeah, he's probably up there.
So why wouldn't you just keep Bart and play him at first? And if he starts hitting, maybe he starts hitting. Maybe all the pressure's off because he doesn't go, I got to be the number one catcher.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't want to come off him necessarily. I'd like to see what he could do at first base and see what adjustments he's made down at minor league level. But I'm just saying what he may personally want to do. I'm trying to get in his mind. Like, he's had a pretty rocky, start to his career here, and it looks like Bailey has surpassed him. And if he really wants to be a number one catcher, does he want to be here? That's my whole thing.
Yeah. I think he'd just like to play, whether it's,
Yeah, DH him. If he can hit, he can hit. He does have power. Although it was weird this year, he didn't have any home runs, did he?
No, he's hit like 3 down in Sac. He's starting to, I just think and maybe he needs a fresh start, and you do trade him and get something decent back for him.
I bet he would be a decent decent player if he went to the right team and
Yeah,
a
I
hitter's
just-
part. I
I
bet you
just-
he'd be pretty solid.
Yeah, I just don't want to give up on him because I know Matt Williams was 2-3 years younger than Bart when he came up, but I saw him, I watched him come up. I was at Candlestick, and then the guy was swinging at balls like 5 feet off the plate in the dirt and just looked completely like he made up his mind he was swinging whether wherever it was, as soon as it was thrown. And he just looked foolish. And it was like, oh my gosh, this guy's ever going to be able to hit. And he figured it out. And Bart came into Major League Baseball with a lot of hype. And, he was the number 2 pick overall in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I think coming behind Buster was a lot of pressure, and then Buster retiring after 21 unexpectedly, and the job was handed to Bart. And it was like, oh, shoot, he's got to be the guy. And there's a lot of pressure following Buster. I just think now that Bailey's up and Bailey seems to be clearly the number 1 guy, maybe Bart just accepts that and says, okay, I'll be the backup, and I'll get my at-bats, and I'll get to play some first base when we're facing a lefty. And maybe Bart becomes this really good player. And I don't think he was ready when he came up, And so let's get to the super chat here from Mark Hope. Thank you, Mark, for the $10.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Mark.
Really
Fantastic.
appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ramos, Major League Baseball body and skill set with speed, power, with higher batting average capability. He's a victim of Moneyball. The bottom line, he hasn't got a chance yet. Does he? He hasn't got a chance yet, does he? If I'm a GM, I play the guy. I don't need Jock in the outfield. I'm all for an outfield right now of, in 24 when you got a lefty. I'm all for Matos, Ramos, and Von Brown. Okay,
There you go.
You stick Matos in center, and you stick Ramos in left or right, whoever plays right better at the yard. And you got speed galore. You got young talent. It would be the reminder of kind of a Herndon, Matthews, and Maddox, or
There you go.
Or it was Matthews, Whitfield, and Maddox. Those 3 guys. And at one point, all 3 of those guys, if you had a newspaper and you picked it up back in the early 70s and you looked at the top 10 in the Chronicle, there was 3 Giants in there. And it was Terry Whitfield, Gary Maddox, and Gary Matthews, the Sarge. All 3 of those guys batting like 300 for a while.
Didn't they have a Gary Alexander on the team too?
They had Gary Thomason.
Gary Thomason. Thank you. Damn, Alexander. Where am I getting that from?
Yeah.
I've mentioned a couple times about the Giants coming off of Austin Slater, and I always get a pushback. But the Giants love Austin Slater.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why? Why do they love him so much?
Just throw out, and you know what? Ramos and Bart are very similar in how they've been treated, if you think about it. I mean, it's Ramos, especially last year. I mean, when he came up, he scorches the ball. His exit velocity is just incredible. And they didn't keep him up. They just platooned him and sent him back down to AAA after having 2 games where he did okay. But you got to give the guy a chance. I mean,
did my Slater question go right over everybody's head? I'll ask it again. Why do the Giants love Slater so much?
I don't know. I guess
I'm teasing you, E.
I know.
It's hard for me to figure out.
Because he hits left-handers. Great.
Yeah.
I want an outfielder that can hit left-handed and right-handed.
Okay,
hitters.
this is what I'm trying to piggyback on you here, Los. Who would you rather have, Slater or Ramos?
Ramos.
Yeah, I'd rather have Ramos. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's 23.
I just like younger guys with upside over guys that are
right.
Slater is always going to be a 4th or 5th outfielder, and you just keep being a 4th and 5th outfielder all the time. When Ramos could be, he just has higher upside. I just like his upside.
Can he be any worse than what Slater is?
Sure. Yeah, you're right, Rob Rothberg. Slater's a decent player. I don't want decent players. I want good players on the team. As many good players as possible. I want to see what Ramos has. And he has had his opportunities. Let's face it. He has had some consistent at-bats, and he hasn't done it yet. But he's
Who are you talking about,
relatively
Ramos?
young. So, yeah.
No,
He hasn't had a chance at all.
He's been up with the big
You know
league.
how many
Only a
at-bats?
couple of games,
You know how many
yeah.
at-bats he has?
I thought he had a pretty good run. I want to say either last year or the year before. And
Bart did. Bart had a good run.
No, Ramos. I want to say he had.
No, Ramos.
No?
I don't even think has 100 major.
He doesn't
league
even have
at-bats.
100 at bats.
So he's never had a consistent.
No.
2
No,
to 3 weeks.
let me pull up his stats here. Right here, I'll show you.
Yeah, what's he hitting at the major league level?
He's had no shot. He's had 20.
Yes.
He's had 46 at bats. Okay, that's nothing.
Okay, so he hasn't. So I'm wrong. He hasn't had a real chance. I could have swore he had a. So he's hitting 2.
You can't get into any kind of rhythm. You're up for a couple of games. You get a few at bats. You go back down. Yeah, I mean,
okay. In spring training, Danny, we know spring training pretty well. Ramos has had some at bats. How's he looked in spring training?
He's looked okay. I mean, I think he just needs another year of development at this point in AAA. He's been hurt this year, so hopefully he gets the development that he needs, and that will, could change.
When you see him
lot.
swing, when you see him swing, Danny, are you seeing him like having trouble with breaking stuff, or is he like Belt? Is he having trouble with the high fastball?
It's hard to say. I really haven't seen him enough.
When I've seen him hit, he hits the ball in the ground a lot. He does not drive the ball, and he has enough power to go the opposite field.
Mm-hmm.
He may be pull happy, and that might be one of his issues, but he has talent, and he just needs to unlock it. So we'll see. Yeah, I would definitely take him over Slater.
And there you go. He has a great point. 100% agree with Slater take. He's never healthy, and we don't always have the luxury of role players. Plus, he's very bad defensively and hurts his soft tissues whenever he runs hard. Yeah.
But the Giants love him.
Yeah.
And that's what the Giants need to stop kind of doing is they fall in love with players, personality wise, great in the community. Hey, great, man. Never going to knock that. But they love Yaz. They love Yaz.
Yeah.
And Yaz is playing well this year. So kudos to him. But yeah, they have a hard time coming off of guys that they love, and these younger guys that probably have more talent than they do are not going to be able to, get up to the big league team until they do move off of these guys. Like if you did bring up Ramos now, who goes down?
I think yeah.
That's what I mean.
I mean, he's on the 40-man, so that's a good thing. But as far as the 26,
it's generally with an injury.
Yeah.
And that again leads to the point that I always make on here is this is when you keep so many pitchers on your roster. That means you're limited with your everyday players and your bench players.
Right.
So that's why you need starters that can go more innings and not have an 8-man bullpen. That's too many.
Yep.
Too many. So
yeah.
Crab Sandwich doesn't like Ramos, calls him trash. He is a ground ball machine. Yeah, that's what I see in spring training. I see a lot of ground outs to second and short. I don't see him drive the ball.
That's right. I forgot Ramos isn't on the 40. Thank you, Justin. I forgot when he went on the 60-day. Where did they have to put him when he has to come back on the 40-man? Otherwise, he's vulnerable, right?
Yes, they will have to put. They'll either have to put him on the 40 to trade,
or he goes to waivers.
Yeah. Sheesh.
So Danny, we've talked about their outfield surplus with Meckler, with McRae, with Von Braun. Now you throw in Heliot Ramos. You got Matos. That's 5 young guys right there.
Exactly. I was just going to bring that up.
They have to identify of those 5 guys, which are 3 that are going to be part of the Giants organization moving forward for the next 5 years starting next year. The other 2.
What were the 5?
Meckler, Ramos, Von Braun, McRae, and Mato. Yeah, 5 guys.
I think at least 3, maybe 4. I would put them in this order: Von Braun,
Ooh.
And Matos. And
Von Brown over Matos. Interesting.
it's close. I mean, but I guess I was forgetting Matos. Right now, it's just 1-2, Matos, Brown. You can flip them however you want.
Yeah, I agree.
Matos, Brown, and then Meckler and who was the
McRae.
McRae. Probably McRae, then Meckler 4. I think McRae is
And
he's
Bryce
like their number 3.
Bryce Johnson is 6.
Oh, Bryce Johnson he's not going to be.
Then you gotta cut him or trade him if he's not going to be part
Bryce
of
Johnson is a
speedy defensive center fielder that can't hit.
They can't hit, right? Yeah.
So
You don't see him ever being able to hit.
Not likely. No, I don't see it. And don't forget Luciano could play outfield too. If you've got Schmidt, and it depends on what they come up with a shortstop. If they don't come up with a shortstop, it's either going to be Schmidt or Luciano. But if they come up with this Arteaga guy, I don't know if he makes it as shortstop in the major league level. If he does and becomes kind of a guy that is a decent hitter, good defender, they could move Luciano to one of the corners. There's a lot of different options, but things have such a way of working itself out that, we all thought, 2-3 years ago, Hunter Bishop was going to be the guy, and,
that's true.
So you just don't know. I'm guessing when I say, those guys, it could be 3 or 4 other different guys. And one of those guys makes it, is part of the future.
Is Meckler right-handed?
Left.
Okay, so him and McRae, I think, are left, and the other 3 are right. So we have a little balance there.
See, here's the thing with Meckler too. You'll want him, if he does well, you'll want him to come up, because in the major leagues, what's the predominant hand that's pitching? Yeah,
right-handed,
it's the righty.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
it's gonna be valuable.
Yep.
You know what? Maybe he replaces Jock next year.
I personally am a Grady McRae fan. I've watched him quite extensively. I like his swing. Just like me and Danny like Sable's swing, I like McRae's swing, but he needs a little time.
Yeah. He's moving up though. He's in Double-A. And
hey Dan, how about we take a look at the out of town scoreboard, see how everything wrapped up today?
All right, let me pull that up here. Give me.
It's fun talking about the young guys, isn't it? Man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish the Giants would talk more about the young guys like we
actually. I think McRae. I said McRae's at Double-A. I think he's at Eugene.
He's still in Eugene.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Eugene, but he's doing well up in Eugene.
What's he hitting, Eric?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I haven't looked at Eugene in a while. I know what's his name, that Victor Barricado. He got promoted up to Double-A. He's a power hitter guy. So
I saw that he had like 20 some odd stolen bases already. McRae and here I'll tell you in just give me 1 minute here.
Matos, McRae, and Von Brown. Those are 3 guys that could potentially steal 25, 30 bases and give you great defense in the outfield.
Yeah.
You got basically 3 center fielders playing out there.
Okay.
Liam is saying McRae has 30 stolen bases.
Something like that. Yeah, it's quite a few.
Boy.
He's only hitting 236, but
that's not my boy.
That's not your boy, Lowe's.
Nah,
you gotta have
he
a
had,
3.
He had to hit at least 260 for me to like him.
Hey, they threw a no-hitter tonight.
I'm a front runner. Come on, McRae.
Eugene threw a combined no-hitter tonight. Interesting. But
he's hitting 230 something, Dan?
236. But let me pull this up here as it moves slowly. Home runs, he has 8. Victor Mercado had 16.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, there's Torpedo.
And McRae's got 30 stolen bases. It means he's getting on base.
Everson Artega's got 8 too. Wow. Let's see how many home runs.
MF.
What happened?
Oh, what MF said.
What did he say?
Who left the cocaine in the White House? I'll give you one guess.
I don't know. Is it HB initials?
Maybe.
Unbelievable. All right. What are we doing? Out of town scores?
Out of town scoreboard. Yep.
All right. Let's go to the out of town scoreboard as we go across the major league circuit and we take a look at everything here. The Colorado Rockies fell to the Houston Astros 6-4. Yainer Diaz homered twice for the Houston Astros. And the Astros, I don't know if they play tomorrow, but they will be coming to San Francisco. The A's and Tigers in a game that nobody.
Oh, there's that Rodriguez kid. He got lit up.
Yeah. In the A's Tigers game, nobody really cares about that one. So we'll move on. Phillies Rays, Phillies 8-4. Walker wins 6 straight for the Phillies. Beat the Rays 8-4 for the 11th consecutive road win. The Phillies are on a roll. The Marlins beat the Cardinals, and the Cardinals continue to sink. And it could be any day now where we see a manager possibly
get fired.
Jordan Hicks, who I would love to have on the Giants, took the loss. He's 1-5. He's having a down year. I would pick that guy up if I could for my bullpen. That guy can
throw some heat.
Hell yeah. Yankees fall to the Orioles, which is good to see. Anytime you see the Yankees lose.
Batista with the
Yankees lose. Yankees lose. How about that one, huh?
I swear the Reds are my second favorite team in baseball. Only because I just love how
the young guys.
They just committed to their youth, and their youth is raking. Look at Dela Cruz, another bomb.
Hit a
16
massive and 2 doubles.
16 hits. And as good as he is, McClain is good. Fraley is good. Spear is good. They got some kid, Will Benson, that is good. And they haven't even called up their best.
They haven't even called up their best guy yet. Yep, correct.
Yeah. Jeez. I love it.
Atlanta.
Commitment to the youth.
Atlanta.
That's how you do it, Robert Rothberg. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Atlanta wins again after their win streak broke, but they back on the winning ways, 8-1. Rangers, fall to the Red Sox. Rangers have kind of slowed up lately.
A little bit. That
kid Bello.
I mean, they're still 51-36.
I know, but they were like 20 games over 500, 22 over 500.
That guy Bello for the Red Sox is pretty filthy. He has none of his balls straight. They have a lot of movement. 3.0 ERA.
Pablo Lopez throws first career shutout. The kid that was traded for Luis Arias.
Yeah,
that looked like a good trade for both teams. Maybe Mike Tauchman keys 3-run ninth in the Cubs 4-3 victory over the Brewers, which helps the Giants.
Cubs again come from behind.
Yeah, Machado homers. Padres win their 3rd in a row. They could be starting to make a move, and the Giants, as we've talked about here. Yes, the Mets beat the Diamondbacks. Okay, my parlay. Who screwed up my parlay? Oh, the Dodgers lost or won too. Dang it. All right. So my parlay didn't work out, but that's okay because the Diamondbacks loss puts the Dodgers at, let's take a look at the standings now. Now that the ball games are over, we go to the National League West where we're most interested. The Dodgers trail the D-backs by a game and a half. The Giants are 3 back, and the Padres sitting at 9 back. So the Giants pick up a game tonight. With 3 games to go, the Dodgers have a game tomorrow. Mathematically impossible for them to be 5 up over the Diamondbacks.
Real quick, see what the last 10 games, how the teams are playing in recent.
4-6 for the Diamondbacks. Dodgers 5-5. Giants 3-7. Padres 4-6, and that includes 3 wins in a row. And
Everyone's down in the West.
Yep. Now let's take a look at the Central. The Cardinals, 12.5 out. They're going to be sellers.
Yeah, they're going to be sellers.
So let's take a look at the Cardinals. Let's see who they've got on their roster.
Knowing the Giants are going to get.
Okay.
Jack Flaherty's not bad.
Jack Flaherty wouldn't be bad. Jordan Hicks would be a nice addition for the bullpen. Jordan Montgomery, there you go. That's a pitcher that would be nice to have.
Used to pitch with the Yankees.
Yep. Okay, catchers, we'll move on. Infielders, Arenado, with that contract, you're going to have to pick up part of that contract, or Goldschmidt. I'll tell you another guy that might be a possibility is the outfielder. He's not
Dylan
even
Carlson?
on he's not on the roster. He's probably hurt. Dylan
They're not going to
Carlson.
get rid of Walker.
No, no,
Oh, he's right there.
No, not Carlson. I was thinking of
Nootbaar?
no, the stocky left fielder. Somebody help me out here.
Burleson?
No,
Those are the only 4 outfielders they got.
built guy, really built. Looks like the uniform. He's going to bust out of it. Got some power.
O'Neill, Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah, Tyler O'Neill. That might be a guy that you could get.
Is he hurt? Is he not on the active roster?
I think he's just probably on the IL. Let me look him up here and see what's going on with him. Tyler O'Neill, though, he's got some pop. And Tyler O'Neill, let's see. He's been up since 18. Got a career 9.3 WAR. This year, he's only had 92 at-bats, 21 hits, 2 home runs. But if you look at his career, he had 34 homers in 21. 34 homers.
Wow.
That's a guy that had 14 last year. Hit 286 in 21 with 34 homers and drove in 80. That's a guy that you might be able to get for cheap right now. Cardinals are, going to be selling.
He's not having a good year this year.
No, not really. He hasn't played much. So if he gets healthy, he might be a guy that you can go after. Like I said, he fell off the wagon last year.
Is he hurt?
I think so. Let me pull it up here. Tyler O'Neill. Hold on here. Tyler O'Neill. He's probably on the IL. Starting rehab assignment Tuesday. This was 2 days ago. O'Neill back will begin a rehab assignment with AAA Memphis. So he's on rehab right now. So
Good point, Haruka. They're probably trading salary. They're not going to trade young guys. They're going to trade the guys with the big paychecks.
let me see what kind of salary he's got.
I think he's still in arbitration.
He probably is because he's only been up for
Only
5,
for a while,
6
yeah.
years. So if I look at St. Louis's roster here with salaries, O'Neill is, he's not arbitration eligible till next. Well, I mean, he's arbitration next year 3. So he's still.
Oh, for a while. Like
yeah,
2 more years, right?
Yeah, you get 4 arbitration years.
Is it 4? I thought it was 5.
It's 4. And then, so their salary guys are Arenado at 32.8 and Goldschmidt at 25. Arenado is probably the guy they'd like to get rid of because they've got him on the books for 4 more years. They got him at 35 in 24 next year and 32 in 25, and then it drops 27 and then 15. So Goldschmidt is a free agent after next year. So what is the other guy? I mentioned the pitcher. What was his name? I said
Jordan Montgomery.
Montgomery.
Yeah, he's. Let's see. He signed. He's a free agent. So, yeah, you might be able to – next year, he's a free agent. You might be able to get Montgomery for the cheap. That's the guy I would go after. Definitely. Left-handed pitcher. He's the guy I would go after right now. And I would, one of the places where you're really loaded up, maybe you make that thing and you say, okay, we'll give you a Ramos or something like that, a guy where you have an abundance of guys. Ooh, look at Chardall.
Yeah, he's getting a little spicy.
Ooh, that could put you in a timeout.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Chardall. Where'd that comment go again? Send the link. Hey, Chardall. You can't talk to me like that. Can't talk to me like that. Can't talk to this crew on this running this ship right now. Chardall, is this the intro music you want to come into if we bring you in?
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Chardall, here we go.
Okay, you're good. Oh, man. That was – hey, did you see the little video we put up, Los?
Which one?
Oh, my gosh.
Go ahead
Here.
and show that.
Damn it. I got to go through YouTube. Hold on one second.
What happened to my comment?
This is the other night.
Why can't I get that comment up here? Hold on.
Dan was trying
took it
to
away.
do
Okay.
the sound effects, and it didn't turn out too well. Let's see. Let me find it. Where are we at? There we go.
Uh-oh. Getting into some wrestling talk.
Yeah, I see that.
Uh-oh. I was getting a little hyphy when I see the wrestling talk.
All right, you ready for this?
There we go. Let's get some wrestling talk, huh?
Well, not yet. Hold on one second. Let's here we go. Make you out of volumes. It's a little bit low.
Giants need to hit some balls out of the park and have big explosions. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Watch the facial expression.
I don't hear it.
I don't hear it. It didn't work.
What happened?
Man, Dan's got some classic facial expressions
Did you
when
pull
things are too loud.
Oh my god!
It blew, right? I mean, sometimes it's low, the volume. I should just keep my volume really down, like really low.
He thought I did it. I didn't even do nothing. I was innocent in that one. Oh man!
Hey, let's bring in Chardall and ask him about his. Let's get his top 5. Did we already do his top 5 wrestlers of all time?
No.
All right, Flydoll.
Here it comes.
Put the link in. There you go, Flydoll. Come on in. Incoming. We'll leave that on until he comes in.
Will Martinez, that's funny.
Where was it? I missed it. Oh.
Hey, watch your ears. Watch your ears.
Yeah, I'm
when
good.
he
I'm
comes
good.
in.
I got my volume kind of down. So.
I'm going to have some fun. Come on, Flydoll. It's your chance. Top 5s. Links in the chat.
It's definitely a gold dust. Oh, that was the weirdest damn character, man. Wow.
That's Dusty Rhodes' son.
Yeah, I know.
Brock Lesnar, though, huh? Was he your guy?
Nah.
Roddy
No.
Piper?
Roddy Piper. The Piper's Pit was remember when he broke the coconuts over
All right,
over
come
Jimmy
on
the Superfly
in.
Snuka's head?
Where is he?
That was awesome,
All
man.
right, we're going to have to he's not in yet.
Great TV.
You snooze, you lose, man.
All right.
All right, that's it.
Flight all you got
He
to
ain't coming in now. Even if he gets in a green room, he's gone.
well,
See ya.
You wanna have
he's
the
working
chat?
his way in. He's working his way in. All right.
You want to have the chat vote him in, or
No,
vote
we're
him
gonna
not in?
bring him in. Hold on, here he comes. All right, Chardot, what do you have to say? He's gone.
Oh man, he brings him in. He brings him in just to kick him out. Oh my goodness.
Oh, let's bring him
wow.
back in. Right.
Oh, that was
There
great.
he is. Chardal, what do you got to say? Come on, Chardal. Turn up your mic a little. We can
I
barely
can't hear a
you.
damn thing.
Chardal, you there? Okay. Going once. Going twice.
I already did. You're the self-infliction, man.
And the crowd is loving it.
You forgot it was on loop. You put it back in and gong.
He's not there.
Oh my god, man!
He's not there.
Nope. He's every time we bring him in, there's silence.
Man, come on, Chardal. We had you ready to go, and you weren't ready, man. I think Chardal had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, Haroku, Ricky the Dragon. He was probably one of my favorite.
Okay. Oh, he says he's ready now. He says he's ready. My mic is connected. Okay. You done, Chardal? He's done. Okay, he's ready. We're gonna bring him.
I don't even know why I'm laughing.
We're ready to bring him back in. He says his mic's ready. Welcome, Flight All. Chardal, how's it going tonight? You there?
I can't hear him. I can't hear him.
He said his mic's ready.
His mic.
No Chard.
Oh man.
Is that Los or is that
Whew. Golly, man.
who's
Killing
who?
me.
Okay. That was
What is going on here?
no Los is holding up the no Chardal. Bang a gong. Chardal, are you there? The crowd is asking, the chat is saying
Oh Lord.
goodbye. They can't take the in and out. Goodbye, Chardal. Okay. All right. We gonged him out. The hell? Hey. Gosh. Then I turned, that thing was off. Oh, man. All right. Los Chardal. Los is greater than Chardal. All right. Bring back in. Chardal's out. He didn't make the cut tonight.
Is it safe to come back?
He says his mic is connected. It's safe. We gave him 2 shots. He's still in the green room saying a third time his mic is ready. Should we give him one more shot? Third time's a charm, or should we? What's the chat say? Chardal trying to get reception from the Great American parking lot as he waits for his ride. Eric going to get tears from so much laughing. Yeah, Eric was just busting up. The gong busted in my eardrum again. Thought I had it off. What's the chat? Give me first 5 votes. Top 5 voters. Here we go. Chardal, we're going to give it to the voters. The audience is going to vote whether we give you a third chance. Okay, thumbs up, thumbs down. Either yes or no. Bye-bye, Salinas. Mark Graves. We need 4 more votes. Yes, 1-1. No, Barry Lynn's 2-1. One more no, and it's a yes. Next vote decides it. Who wants Chardal? Do we want some entertainment? Yes, Will Martinez says yes, Chardal. You are back.
Will Martinez voted twice.
Okay, well, we voted twice. Hey, it's nothing new.
Yeah,
we're in Arizona, right? Where you can vote as many times as you want.
You got that right.
Okay, Chardal, you're live. You're on the air with NorCal Sports. What do you got to say?
Woo.
Chardal. Hey, Dan, what'd you think of that game tonight? The 2-0 Giants victory, right? Is that what your first question was?
Hey, Eric.
What's
Who
up,
are your
Chardal?
top 5 heroes from World War II?
Ooh.
Top 5 heroes from World War II. Ooh, boy.
Chardal segment is live.
Yeah, how about that? Man, he's going. You know, you got the big generals, you know, but they kind of. Yeah, Eisenhower. I'm not a big fan of MacArthur. I mean, he was good, but I'm not a big fan of him. Audie Murphy, the guy who won the Medal of Honor. Oh, what's his name? The Marine that was in Iwo Jima. He just passed away just recently too. Oh my God, his last name was Williams. That guy took on like I think 5 pillboxes with the flamethrower. Yeah, that guy was something. Let's see. That's 2. Patton. Yeah, that guy was something. He knew how to lead his men. A little bit unorthodox, but he knew how to lead his men. Trying to think of who else. I have an affinity to Pappy Boyanton. That guy was a freaking crazy man. He shot down a lot of. He did get shot down a few times, but he shot down a lot of Japanese. So there you go. That's what I'll go with. Stalin.
Hey, what are your top 5 significant events from World War II?
Significant events? See? Yeah, I mean, they're out there. You know what I'm saying? Significant events, sometimes they're a little bit, I don't want to say they're overplayed, but because there's a whole bunch of events that can take place that aren't quite as significant, but had just as much impact. But anyways, yeah, I mean, of course, the attack on Pearl Harbor. The double cross of the Soviet Union, that was a huge event. It got the Soviet Union over to the Ally side. The Battle of Britain, that was a significant event. And then Germany, you know, initially starting it with invading Poland. Let's see what else. And then probably the dropping of the 2 nuclear bombs. That's my 5.
Interesting. All right. We got to hustle.
Hey,
we gotta hustle. Our
hey,
numbers
Dan.
are dropping and
Yeah, they are.
and they're
Top-
moving over to other channels. So I see.
Dan,
What's that? Chardal?
He muted himself.
Okay. Chardal, we've had enough on and off. You're muting. Your mic's all messed up. We're going to let you go. Have a wonderful night. When you get your mic fixed, there you go. On another evening, you can come back. But tonight, we're done. Have a good one. Bye, doll. All right.
Bye, doll. Bye, doll.
Yeah. I just got that one from the chat right there. I saw it pop up. It's like, so yeah, I just can't. I can't deal with the up and down the mic going. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm not going to continue to bring him in if he can't be, have a good system ready to roll. So it's just too much. It doesn't run it doesn't lend itself to a good
channel.
show. Yeah. So we're not gonna have guys on here that aren't ready to rock and roll. So we were going over the St. Louis Cardinals roster. I kind of narrowed in on Goldschmidt would be a good fit. You could DH him. You could Goldschmidt. I mean, you can Goldschmidt DH every night. I mean, you could, as far as I'm concerned, get Goldschmidt and DH him every night. Is Los with us?
Yeah, he's with us.
Okay.
Oh man.
It's okay to come back, Los. It's safe.
Yeah, he should see the stream. He knows.
Any more Chardal, I'll need a Midol.
Oh man.
Oh, so I think. Oh gosh, what's he got on his head?
Oh, he's going with the beret. Feeling a little continental there.
So
Thought I'd switch it up a little bit.
I go get Paul Goldschmidt. He can be a difference maker, and I DH him every night. I trade Jock. I don't need this lefty-righty crap with Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt's a hitter. He's an MVP. He's a reigning MVP.
Oh yeah, good point. I agree with you, Dan. I mean, he's a plus over what Jock is giving you right now.
Oh yeah, and then you can get something for Jock, and you want to take Lamont Wade out of the lineup and Goldschmidt play first base. That's fine. You got other right-handed guys. It allows you, if you have to you can keep Flores as you can make Flores your DH. And then and then you have Goldschmidt. So yeah, I'm a guy that would say let's go get Goldschmidt, and I don't think it takes the top prospects. Let's see what Goldschmidt is doing this year. Let's see what his stats are. Okay. Are we still up there? Let me put him up here. All right. Paul Goldschmidt. All right. So Goldschmidt's hitting 284, 15 home runs. He would lead the Giants almost every category offensively. And he hits in our ballpark. There you go. Paul Goldschmidt, people. You could probably get him for now. A guy like Goldschmidt, I might give up a Wisenhunt. I'm not giving up Harrison though, but I might give up a Wisenhunt and maybe a Elliot Ramos and somebody like who's
if you really think he's going to make a difference, and
maybe
like,
this.
I don't think they beat the Braves with Goldschmidt.
But you have him for next year too, and he's still a good player.
They would probably, just to get rid of his salary, might not have to give up too much to get him. He's like 26 million, I think.
He's like 24, 25 million. Yeah.
That's reasonable. He produces.
I mean,
he's a legitimate number 3 or number 4 hitter.
You're not going to get a Goldschmidt for just Ramos. I mean, they're not going to give him away. He's valuable. He's an asset that they can rebuild with. They're going to want some talent. He's signed for next year. If he was a free agent going into next year, yeah, you're not going to have to pay as much, but you're going to still pay a pretty decent amount. Even though he's like 35, he was MVP last year. Remember that. So you're going to have to give up a major league caliber player, somebody who's can play.
Now, if he comes over, definitely he's an everyday starter at first.
Or
Wade,
DH or DH, whatever. Certain days.
Wade goes to the bench unless he plays in the outfield or DH.
I wouldn't put Wade on the bench when you're facing right-handers. I'd put him in the outfield or at DH. I mean, you could have an all outfield. You can have Yaz, Wade, and Sable. You could put Yaz in center, and you can put Wade in right and Sable in left. Now you got an all left-handed lineup in the outfield, and then you got your infield of Goldschmidt and Estrada, Crawford, and Davis, with Casey Schmidt, as a backup in there. That changes your lineup considerably. Just think about that. Having Goldschmidt in the middle of your lineup changes the entirety of it. In fact, the more I think about it, he would be my number one target in the trade market right now. Just because he's a guy that he's never been to a World Series. I think if you got Goldschmidt and you had a lineup of, your outfield of Wade, Yaz, and Sable, and then on the bench you've got, Slater and Matos. You've got maybe Schmidt, some other guys. I mean, it could be a whole different type of lineup,
If you do that, you're definitely blocking Joey Bart getting at bats at first, for sure.
Well, yeah. But I mean, if you're in
the team, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have to give up any of your top 5 or 6 guys,
That's the thing, Dan, though, that kind of makes it hard because I don't know if we know who the top 6 guys are.
Well, according to the Giants, the way they have them listed is this. They've got Kyle Harrison 1, Luciano 2, Matos 3, Wisenhunt 4, McRae. And I said you might have to give up Wisenhunt. Von Brown 6. I don't want Reggie Crawford. Mason Black has moved up to 9. Eric Silva, another pitcher, 10. Landon Roop, 11. Keaton Wynn, 12. Hario Palmers, 13. Will Bednar, 14. Okay, Ramos is down to 18. I would do something like Ramos, maybe a Landon Roop, and you might have to give up on one of those guys like McRae or something. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, they may want. I mean, I'd love to throw in Will Bednar because he's got potential, but he hasn't moved he hasn't just a couple years ago.
Here's a good point. What Haruku says: if we have to give up something, then the Cardinals need to eat some of it.
Yeah. If you want better prospects, then you're going to have to eat half of that salary.
And that's where the Giants, I think, could just eat the contract. Or not eat it, but take
Eat
on the
it.
contract.
Take it
I
on.
mean,
It's only $24 million for next year. You're going to be moving off of Jock.
right.
You're going to be moving off of Conforto probably, or likely.
And when it comes to the minor leaguers, I don't know if I trust the rankings. I mean, we're thinking, let's not give up one of our top prospects. Let's give somebody in the 10 to 20 range. But Bart was ranked a bit above Bailey for a long time. Turns out Bailey's a better player. Matos, not Matos. Ramos was ranked higher for a long time than Matos, and then Matos shot past him. Luciano was ranked higher than Casey Schmidt. Casey Schmidt got up faster. So we're thinking, okay, let's give up Wisenhunt, not Harrison.
What's interesting is
what if Wisenhunt's better?
They have Matos listed as the number 3 prospect.
Yeah.
They don't have Bailey listed at all. So that tells me they think Bailey's not going back down as a prospect, and they're not sold on Matos being up for good for the rest of the year. Why was he still their 3rd prospect if he's up, and Bailey, I guess what I'm saying is Bailey's not listed anymore as a prospect. So I wonder what the thinking is behind that.
So let's say they get Goldschmidt and he's their number 4 hitter. Who's hitting behind him against, let's say, right-handed pitching? Who's hitting behind him?
Conforto. Jock's may be gone at that point.
Okay, so Conforto's hitting behind Goldschmidt. Are you going to pitch to Goldschmidt?
That's a good point.
That's always my point, guys. I'm steady with that. If you don't have somebody protecting somebody, I don't know, and you give up a prospect that could turn out to be something, and if it doesn't put you over and win the World Series, I'm not doing it. And I like Goldschmidt a lot. I do. Man, I remember how he killed Lincecum. God, he was the only guy, one of the few guys that hit Lincecum. I like him a lot, but I'm consistent. I really like our young guys, and I want to see which of those young guys are going to be good and make a run at this for the next 6 to 8 years. But I know what the Giants will probably do. They want to win now. That's always been their philosophy. So I could see them totally doing that, Danny.
Liam's Crazy Channel says because Matos hasn't played enough games to be removed from the prospect list. That's a good point.
Yep.
But I do think a player like that with St. Louis having Will Martinez says, would you trade Reggie Crawford for Goldschmidt? I might. It's, you never know how long it takes for these guys to develop, if they're going to develop. He's had Tommy John. Is he going to make it all the way?
It's definitely a risk either way.
Somebody said DeScalfani was signed for $12 million next year. I think this is his last year.
Yeah, this is his last year, I thought.
I thought he signed a 3-year extension, not 2.
Let me look. I'll just pull up Kotz real quick here and tell you.
And if you get Goldschmidt, you still haven't solved your 3, 4, 5 pitching rotation. So you'll be fine with Webb and Cobb, even though I'm still not quite sold on Cobb being dominant and relying on him in the playoffs if they make it that far. But 3, 4, 5.
Okay, DeScalfani. Oh, crud.
There is one more year?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
DeScalfani. I thought they signed him. Oh, that's right. It was after the 21 season they gave him 3 years, 22, 20.
They signed Wood to 2 years, I think, and they gave DeScalfani 3 years because he was so good that 1 year.
Wood
he tanked last year, and now he's a quitter this year. So
Wood is a free agent, yeah. Oh gosh.
Yep.
And then you got Mania with a player option, and same with Stripling, player options.
Man, those are some.
And Haniger is signed for $20 million next year, $8 million this year, $20 million next year, and then 15.5 in 25.
Who's that?
Haniger.
I could see why Farhan doesn't want to sign long-term deals because all his long-term deals have sucked.
Oh,
3
that
years
was-
for La Stella, remember? Had to let
Yeah,
him go.
3
3
years
years
for-
for Discofani stinks. I mean, and Haniger, 3 years. He's didn't even start the first month and then gets
Hey,
hit by a pitch.
I'm getting a little weak here. I haven't eaten since dinner at like 5 o'clock. So I'm going
All
to
right.
be right back. I got to get a snack.
All right.
Oh, I thought he was gonna.
I thought he was closing it down.
Yeah, we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes. We're gonna keep it at 90 minutes. Yeah,
Oh
right.
my God, man. Now let me see what we got up here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the Giants doing anything significant, even though Farhan said he was going to be aggressive. I don't know. I just don't see it.
I don't know if I trust much in what he says.
Well,
anymore.
not only that, there's other teams that are probably going to be more quote unquote aggressive than what Farhan's aggressive is going to be. So we'll see how it works out. I still don't trust that whole starting position the way it is. It's weak as hell right now.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You got two guys you can really lean on. After that, it's kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah. Does everybody want Goldschmidt on the team just to exit in the first round?
Someone's going to pick him up
and possibly give up. I'm telling you, like you think, oh, we can give up Wisenhunt, but we don't want to touch Harrison. Right? And if Wisenhunt's good, man, it's risky either way. You don't do nothing. You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't do anything and you're in the race, the fans complain. Oh, why don't you make a run at it? If you do something and trade somebody and he turns out to be, it's tough job.
It is. And that's what I'm saying. You got to have the people.
We need that. Ned Coletti, I think, Danny, correct me if I'm wrong. He said he would not trade any prospects for anybody.
No.
For this team as is.
Your best prospects.
Your best prospects.
Right.
And if Ned was on this show, I would ask him, how do you know as an organization really who your best prospects are? Because it sounds like the Giants have a lot of guys that are pretty good. They're almost there, but there's no 5-star sure thing like a Dela Cruz that's in the minor league system right now. There's a lot of guys that are kind of good, and they're all kind of bunched in together. So,
well, their De La Cruz type guy is Luciano. You hear these guys talk about his incredible bat speed and raw power, and if they can get, he's only 20. I mean, he's a guy that everybody wants, and
he'd be untouchable for me.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm not touching Luciano. I'm so sick of seeing other organizations have their De La Cruz, their Julio Rodriguez, their young studs, and maybe this is the first guy that we've had in a long time to be that, and to get him for a number 3 pitcher.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want that, man. I want superstar players on this team potentially, and they might be right under our noses in our system. But damn it, have some patience.
Yep. Mark's asking us a question.
Honest.
I think he was asking this before Dan came back. He was asking us overall our opinion on Farhan.
It's
mixed.
He's a businessman. He's not a baseball man.
It's grown this year because I've seen some prospects. But
his ability to negotiate for, whether it's free agents or trades is kind of it's
I don't know. That's a hard one because like some of the guys that are doing well right now weren't doing well last year. And that has nothing to do with Farhan. Like he looks shitty last year because Luciano sucks and this guy sucks and that guy sucks. Now all of a sudden they've turned it around. They're having better years. It has nothing to do with Farhan. Farhan's not behind the cage going, well, I think you should close your stance a little bit. And so like this, giving him credit for this, I don't know how to answer that question. Like in his tenor here, I think we graded him last week, guys. I think I gave him like a C+.
A C, yeah.
Since he's been here.
Yeah.
I think he's done some good things. I think he's signed some average players and given them too much money, and kind of missed the boat on forget about Judge and Harper. I mean, Gosman. Gosman's at $22 million a year. Instead, you gave 13 to Wood, 14
Or
to
10. You gave Wood and DeSclafani, yeah, and you could have had.
How much did you give to Manea? 12?
Yeah.
How much is that? That's a lot more than you would have got from Gosman, who was proven.
Right.
He won here, and
Right.
he wanted to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted a 5-year deal, and Farhan's not doing that, which I
But he'll
kind
do
of
it.
understand from starting pitching point of view.
But
Well,
he'll
they
do
got-
3-year deals.
They got burned with Cueto and Samardzija, the previous regime. You know,
And Cueto was dominant his first year, but after that,
first year, yeah. But,
Yeah.
And Samardzija was okay
Yeah.
his first year, but those were bad contracts that wore on you, and you know.
yeah,
But Gosman, you know, you got to figure when you do a 5-year deal that you're going to get most likely 3, possibly 4 really productive years, and you're going to have the bad year. The 5th year, you're just going to probably have to deal with it. But is Gosman at a 5th year at 35? Is he any worse than DeSclafani?
Right.
he's one of the top pitchers in baseball right now.
I
But
know,
it is year one.
Year 2.
Year 2.
This is year 2. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. His second year.
So my point is, he's dominant right now, but let's say he's not in year 5. He's still better than your 5th starter that you're paying $12 million for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Logan, we talked about a little bit about Rayner in our video. Go check it out. Yeah. He's currently ranked number 5, according to Fangraphs, in the organization.
Is he at 5? Let's see where the Giants have him.
Oh, he's not even I don't think he's even in the Giants.
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
What were
He's
they
17
thinking?
years old.
What were they thinking on Sean Manea? What was
They have
what was
him
the
at-
reason-
Who knows?
What was the reasoning behind that? Like he's been so bad the last few years.
You know what's funny?
I think they sometimes just think that they're automatically going to come to this ballpark with pitching coach Andrew Bailey, and again they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle, not only with hitters but with pitchers. And man, it's failed with those 3 guys.
They have him at 18, the Giants.
Oh, they do. Okay. Wow.
Estimated time of arrival, 2028.
Yeah, he's only 17 years old.
I think he makes it before then, because that's makes
Yeah,
him like
that's-
22. I
Yeah,
bet he
that's-
could make it at 21.
You know what? You know what messed up the Samardzija deal was when he speared freaking Mike Morse.
Oh, yeah.
Remember,
Yeah, the
that's when his
fight.
shoulder got jacked up because he went into that during that fight with Harper and Strickland.
Yeah, that fight ruined 2 guys at the Giants.
Yeah, it ruined Morse and
Morse.
Samardzija's. Yeah.
Yep.
Stupid
Got a
ass
concussion.
Strickland.
Yeah.
And those are 2 big guys, going full speed at
Full
each other.
speed
Yeah.
and just ran into
Clobbered
each
each
other
other.
like the Flintstones or
I
something.
know, man. It was
No wonder.
crazy.
And Harper was with the Nationals at that time still.
Yep. Yep.
So why would he want to come, sign here?
Like I said, who is signed here? That's who's a superstar?
Crab Sandwich said he was at that game. Did you feel the shock wave when they collided? That was crazy.
Posey got a lot of crap for not going out
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, I remember that. They're saying that he probably should have stopped Harper from running out there. He didn't
wasn't
even
gonna-
know what's happening. Yeah, he didn't know what was happening.
Oh, he knew. He's if you watch the replay on that, he stayed back quite a bit. He didn't
Yeah.
want to get into it. He's
No,
a
I'm
lover.
saying he didn't know that Strickland was going to beat him.
No, he didn't know that.
Yeah.
But as a catcher, you have a good feel when a guy's about to go out there.
Mhm.
And even if he wouldn't have caught him. Harper's pretty fast. Posey's got gear on. He wouldn't have caught him. But
Yeah, true.
Posey
Posey's
made
already
no effort to go out there until
just turned
it
around
was
and
already
went.
going down.
And Posey's knee was never the same after that 2011 collision.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So-
yeah. Oh, his hip?
Yeah,
It affected his whole leg. Because I mean, even though
Yeah.
he broke his ankle, it affected his whole leg.
Yeah, so there's no reason to go out there and protect some guy that's just an idiot doing something stupid.
The thing about the nobody in the Giants media really asks Farhan the tough questions. Like nobody would say.
No.
Looking back on it now, you gave, like in the chat, you gave Wood, Disco, Manea the money that you did, and you didn't sign Gosman. Nobody asked him that. Nobody asked him holds him accountable for those tough questions.
Yep.
Yeah, he'd probably say, "Well, we
Well, at the time,
we really liked having depth, and we could get 2 pitchers for that price, and in 5 years is a lot."
Jacob Junis was supposed to be a spot starter, and he's basically pitches like every 5 days as a middle reliever. Like,
yeah,
what was given him and signing him? He actually has decent stuff, and he's been a starter. But here,
he was a starter at Kansas City,
exactly,
and then he started last year and did well, and then he hurt his hamstring or something, and So anyway, well, we've been going for 2.5 hours almost. It's almost 11. I think we'll give it a call it a night. Unless you guys want to keep going.
Oh no, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah. I know we still got chats growing back again. It dropped to 35 when Flydall dropped off when he was in, and then when he
Flydall is not good for ratings. The numbers speak for themselves.
Well, if he would have had his mic going, we might have got something out of him, but had a little fun, but
all love to Eric's love of history, but I'm just guessing that the chat likes wrestling topics more than history, just a little bit.
Can't
you
blame.
Want to go into wrestling?
Oh, they get excited when we talk wrestling.
Let's see. Who wants to talk baseball? Who wants to talk wrestling? Let's see what the chat says. Got 3 options: baseball, wrestling.
Or WWE, 1 vote.
Oh, the stream ends. We're waiting.
Well, there's 1 vote for wrestling, 2 votes for wrestling, 1 vote for history.
Same from Luigi. He voted twice.
Hey, look
Luigi's
at that.
Pulling a Will Martinez.
A fellow. Well, I'm not a teacher yet, but that's cool. Where do you teach?
Will Martinez is talking about Val Venus. That's 3 for wrestling. Damn. Val Venus was great. Ooh, boxing. Ooh, I could talk boxing. Spence and Crawford's going to be nasty. I got Crawford.
Best boxer all time, pound for pound.
Ali.
AP Government. Awesome. That's great, Cameron.
Ali and possibly Sugar Ray Robinson.
But
we need some more civics classes.
What about Sugar Ray Leonard?
In school today. That's what I think.
Marvin Hagler.
I got Robinson over Leonard. Leonard stayed in it too long. He lost a lot of. Man, that Sugar Ray Leonard lost to Hector Macho Camacho. That was so embarrassing.
What was the best fight you ever saw?
Whew. Damn, there's a lot.
They involved some of them with Manny Pacquiao for sure.
I'll tell you a fight that only real boxing fans in this chat will know is Azuma Nelson versus Salvador Sanchez. Featherweights, early 80s. If you watch that fight on YouTube, you will go, oh my God. These guys swung hard at each other for 15 rounds. That's a very underrated fight. Alexis Arguello versus quiet. God, what was his name? Hearns Hagler was a great fight.
Yeah.
The first one. Leonard Duran was a great fight because Leonard came to fight that night. Duran was smart. He ridiculed Leonard at all the press conference, and he called his wife a puta, which is a bad word in Spanish. And Leonard, his ego and his manhood were challenged, so he went in there to fight, and that's what made that fight so great. I like the lighter weights as far as action. The middleweights, especially. I love the era of Hearns, Hagler.
Oh yeah,
Hagler and Hearns for 3 rounds was whew. That was a damn good 3-round fight.
Yeah. Roberto Duran, did you say too?
I tell you, heavyweights. Evander Holyfield is quite underrated. Like Tyson tried to intimidate him, and he couldn't do it. I knew I was going to be a good fight because Tyson was doing what Tyson always does: try to talk shit, try to intimidate and beat the fighter before they get in the ring. And he was talking to Evander, and Evander looked at him and said, "The only one that talks to me like that and gets away with it without me hitting him back is my mama." And he looked right at Tyson. Said, "You ain't getting away with it. If you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back." And he did. He did.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I always get into that debate with people that say Tyson was better than Ali. Styles.
Who would have won in their prime? Each of their primes. George Foreman and Mike Tyson in their prime. Both of them.
Just one fight?
It's best of 3.
Tyson beat him 2 out of 3. He's faster.
But yeah, George was big.
George was big. George is a headhunter. But Tyson would get down so low, and he would hit to the body and wear George down where he drops his hands. Foreman had that kind of defense where he fought like this. He's one of the few fighters that had that call.
Yeah. How about the Thrilla in Manila?
Oh.
Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier, I'm going to beat you with Joe Frazier. Don't you mess with me, Joe Frazier. I'm coming after you.
Joe Frazier is so underrated.
I mess with you, Joe Frazier. Don't you talk to me like that, Joe Frazier. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I put you down, Joe Frazier. that was fun back in the 70s. Oh man.
People forget how good Kenny Norton was. Kenny Norton gave Ali all he could handle. He was awkward as hell. I love talking old school boxing. 70s, 80s, some great fights. Pay-per-views. Whew. Yeah.
Yeah. De La Hoya didn't Pacquiao just wipe out De La Hoya pretty good? Oscar De La Hoya, I think he did.
Oh, De La Hoya was past his prime.
Yeah. Pacquiao, though, man, that guy.
Pacquiao and Mayweather should have fought in their prime.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
That would have been interesting.
I love Pacquiao, especially being, pride of the Philippines. Good man. I'm, married to a Filipina, so.
Oh yeah.
It's he's a good man too. Good man, good story. Man, what he had to go through growing up, and just wow.
Well, I mean, the story about the lead singer of Journey, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's the Filipino.
They found him on YouTube.
Yeah,
singing at little nightclubs, and Neil Sean's there. They need a replacement singer.
He's
for Steve
good.
Perry.
Yeah,
and they bring him out to San Francisco, and he kind of is not good the first 2 days, and then he finally finds his voice, and he's great, man. And by bringing him on Journey, they brought a whole country to back Journey even more because they love Arnell.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I wish I could play some of his stuff. I might be able to find it, and I have if I have the license, I might just let me see if I can. While you're doing that, let me see. I might be good. I'm gonna just see if he's on.
Luigi Ryan Garcia kind of showed his true colors. He's a good fighter, but he's not ready yet for prime time. Got knocked out with a body shot. Yeah. Will, that's a good call. Watching Mayweather is watching a pitcher's duel. Great defensive fighter. I was real disappointed when Canelo fought him. Canelo did not pressure him at all. Did not even try. It's like, why not just rush forward? Mayweather is not a big puncher. Just kind of stood on the outside and let him beat him boxing. Big disappointment for Canelo. And he's now getting up there in age. I think he's fighting pretty soon, as a matter of fact.
Interesting. Why can't I log in here? Here we go. Log in. Oh, why are they doing that? Log in with Google.
Tyson Fury is very good. 6'8". God, that's a big heavyweight, man. And he's fast. I don't know. Boxing is not the same. A lot of things are not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
That would be an interesting topic maybe for the next show. We can prelude it. Is how does everybody feel about the three major sports? Do you like baseball, basketball, and football now as much as you did, say, 15, 20 years ago? With all the rule changes, everything.
I like football more. I would say I like basketball more because of the action, the three-point play, and the Warriors. And even though the Giants have won 3 World Series in the 2010s decade, I like baseball 30 years ago better. It just felt like but I'll say this, the game is starting to get more younger people coming up. The African-American player is starting to come back to the big leagues. And I love that because we haven't seen it for so long. And when you get the African-American, the best athletes of the Black Americans coming to play baseball, it makes the game so much more exciting because of their speed and their, brings the stolen base back. It just brings more athleticism to the game. I wasn't crazy about the game of baseball as far as the way it was played the last 5-6 years. When all the shifts and the analytics came in, I was fine with the Giants because Bochy didn't rely. He took analytics and they used them, but he managed with his eyesight. He didn't yank Ross Stripling after 2 innings after he's thrown 2 practically perfect innings and only thrown 24 pitches because the game plan prior to the game was we got to go with Stripling for 2, even though he can throw 60 to 70 pitches. To me, that was just, it irritated me. And yeah. So
you like football more now, Dan? See,
I guess why I say I enjoy the games on TV. I don't go to the games anymore. I don't want to go. I've been to a lot of football games over the years. To me, I'll enjoy it just watching it from in my family room on a big screen. I don't have to mess with crowds. I don't have to, get beer spilled on me. I don't have to deal with, possibly getting, clobbered from some fan that's, fighting behind me. And, I just to me, it's just ridiculous. So I'll watch it on TV. And I guess why I like it more now is because I guess maybe I'm just a little more relaxed with it. I used to be so intense in my younger years when I was so worried. I can just enjoy. Doesn't have to be just the Niner game. I can watch any game.
As a defensive guy, I do not like football as much because I have been to Candlestick enough times to know and hear that when Ronnie Lott put a big hit on somebody, it was just as loud as Rice or Montana or anybody scoring a touchdown. When Patrick Willis laid people out,
Mm-hmm.
I do not like how much rules they give towards the offense. I hate when a defensive lineman makes a great play to get past his guy and he hits the quarterback too high or he hits the quarterback too low.
Yep, that's
A
ridiculous.
penalty
I agree
and
with you.
a
I agree
first
with you
down.
there.
I hate that with a passion.
I do agree with you
I,
there.
I miss Steve Atwater and Singletary, and that is what people love about football is the collisions, and it's part of the game. Yeah, I know it sucks for people to get hurt, but people love big hits. They loved it, and they've taken that out from the game. Wide receivers can do whatever they want over them. Ronnie Lott couldn't play in this NFL right now. He couldn't.
No.
He'd get penalized all the time. One of the greatest players of all time could not play in this NFL. So don't like football as much. Certainly don't like baseball as much with all the analytics. And I miss hit and runs. I miss steals, although stealing is up this year. I just like the game more in the past. And believe it or not, hate to say it, I'm sounding like Greg Dayton here, but I don't like basketball as much because it's gotten too 3-point happy. I like fast break, showtime basketball with anybody. I mean, the Lakers were the best at it, but I liked when you had a 3-on-1 break. It went to one of the guys and it was a dunk or a layup. I didn't like the two wing guys going out to the 3-point line.
I know, that's crazy.
Breaking a three. Or Draymond Green in the playoffs this year against the Lakers. I forgot what game it was. They were down 1. It was like 12 seconds left.
Yeah.
Clay misses a 3.
Draymond
Draymond grabs the ball.
Could have went right underneath.
Right there. Put it up. Go ahead by 2. What do? Kick it out to Steph for a 3? Brick. Lost the game.
Yeah.
Dude, don't pass up layups and dunks. So
I know.
not to be a Debbie Downer.
I hear you.
I don't like the 3 games as much. Doesn't mean I don't love it. Obviously, I'm on a talk show. Hosting it, co-hosting it, but no, I don't like the 3 games as much as I used to.
I hear you. I hear you. I mean, it's
just my
I guess
opinion.
I just really love the Warriors from 2015 through basically last year, just seeing the ball movement and the the unselfishness. Watching James Harden
from that point.
Watching James Harden play or Luka Doncic's dribble all the way, and then no ball movement, just hoisting shots at the end of the shot clock. I don't like that.
Yeah, and let's be clear, I don't like Knicks Rockets finals, like final score 81-79.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I
just like the way the Warriors changed, the way they played the game, and they did get away from it last year a lot. They were just shooting so many threes and weren't moving the ball. They were a mess last year. It's really amazing they ended up getting past Sacramento the way that team was so dysfunctional. And you'll hear a lot more about it. That whole Jordan Poole, Draymond fiasco. There was a lot.
What's funny about that Jordan Poole? He has not even spoke since he got traded to the Wizards.
Yeah.
And it's been like a good 9 days. So yeah. I'll probably pick this up on the next episode, but I'd like to hear more in the chat about what everybody thinks about the games.
Yeah.
Definitely, because that could be a long topic.
So
Eric's tuned out.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, we're gonna close this too. So we'll wait till Eric gets back in. I'm tired. I've been, I don't sit anymore when I do these. And so I'm standing. My back gets sore. My back gets sore if I sit and stand. So I'm only good if I sit in a like a really cushy chair.
You did a couple of episodes with Ryan actually there with you, and it was like on a couch, but that was at the old house.
Yeah, at the old house. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you need to be in a chair, Danny. Standing this long is tough.
Yeah, I might have you. I almost called you on the other night. Was it Monday night? Yeah, like we finished the show. I was saying, hey, you want to come over tomorrow on the 4th? Because I thought you ended up going somewhere, right? Up to Sedona.
Yeah, up to Payson.
Payson, okay.
Yeah, about an hour and a half away. Yeah, me and the wife have actually talked about it. We want to get together and come over there, and we could do the show together. And
that'd be good.
The wife can teach mine how to make Filipino food and mine Mexican food.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, that would be awesome. I love
trade
Mexican
recipes because you love Mexican and I love Filipino food.
Yeah, yeah. So
all good.
I don't know if Eric's going to come back here or I'll text him and just kind of tell him. So he's let's see, where did he go? Here, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mark Hope, Ronnie Lott is absolutely maybe one of my top 3 favorite Niners. I just love what he brought to the table. So I went to many games where he laid guys out, and that stadium just went crazy. So can't play like that anymore, unfortunately.
all right. So anyway, I think we're coming up. We've gone 2 hours 45 minutes. Man, we started right at 8:30, and so we'll be back Friday night about probably about 10 o'clock after the Giants Rockies game, and we may look for a little special on the channel. Hopefully sometime tomorrow we'll get that up. Eric and I are going to do a little deal and on trade.
Hit up
talking about, I think the
draft is coming up this weekend.
Yeah, the draft is coming up. What was the where did I put that here? I had the title for the title. It's going to be San Francisco Giants trade deadline pitfalls. Learn from the past. So we're going to talk a little bit about the prospects and some of the guys, just as a hint. Gave you a hint earlier in the evening. Some of you may have not been with us, but one of the worst all-time trades the Giants ever made was trading George Foster for Frank Duffy, who played like 21 games with the Giants, and they got rid of him in the Gaylord Perry deal, I believe, or something, and they traded Perry for McDowell. That was one of their worst trades. But we're going to be specifically talking about prospects that the Giants try to go for it or just make trades to get better, and just name a few guys like they traded gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I'm so tired. But Brian Reynolds, Zach Wheeler, guys who are still. I mean, imagine if you had Zach Wheeler right now, and you had Zach Wheeler for the last, 10 years instead of Beltran for 1 year,
right?
And they also guys like. You got rid of Castillo, Lewis. I see Logan put in there Luis Castillo. Liriano,
Rob Nen.
Rob Nen they picked up. They didn't. They got him in a trade. Rob Nen. I'm trying to think of the other minor league guy. I'm drawing a blank. But anyway. There's a lot of stories of guys that got rid of. Oh,
that's what I meant. Joe Nathan.
Nathan was in the deal with along with Liriano. Am I saying it right? Was it Liriano?
Liriano, yeah, the lefty, right? Yeah, wasn't he a lefty?
Francisco Liriano.
Yeah, Francisco Liriano. Isn't that the guy that Brandon Crawford hit the grand slam off of in 2014?
Can't remember.
He hit the grand slam off someone. I could have sworn it was Liriano in Pittsburgh. Remember?
I remember the grand slam. I don't remember who he hit it off of. I want to say it was a starter.
It was it 2012? How come I'm drawing? Is it 2012 or 2014? They did that in the wild card.
It was 14.
It was 14.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Cepeda for Sadecki.
Yeah, that's another one that's in there. There's just so many. But.
Matt Duffy for Matt Moore.
They traded Jack Clark when he was still in his youth, under 30.
Gary Matthews.
Cepeda you mentioned. There's the Zach Wheeler we mentioned, getting rid of Joe Nathan and Francisco Liriano.
I think the one that hurts the most
AJ.
recently is the Brian Reynolds one. That's probably the one.
Yeah.
That stings the
So
most.
the deal is
well, let's not give it away. Don't give it away.
yeah, let's be we want to talk about this because we want to get this out there and just kind of what we talked about tonight. Don't get rid of a lot of these guys just for mid-level guys that, if you're going to go get a Goldschmidt, a little different. You're going to get a Corbin Burns. You're going to get somebody that you have control of for at least a full year and a half. No rentals. No rentals, please.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to give a rental, fine. If you want to give up some guy that's not, it's at the end of your top 30 or not even in your top 30, fine. But, a lot of times guys pan out that are below the top 30. So we'll see. But that does it for tonight. Oh, and by the way, this trade, it really never bothered me that much. I thought Matt Duffy was a good player, but he wasn't a star. Right. Matt Duffy's never made an all-star game. He was liked because he had that great first year or two as far as, but if you look at Matt Duffy's career, nothing. And the Giants needed pitching. Matt Moore had potential to be a really good pitcher. He was like a top draft pick and was he had that no-hitter
had a good
going
2016, remember? He was dealing in that.
He had a no-hitter going against the Dodgers for 8 1/3 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, or 2/3 maybe. But
against the Cubs, remember? And then Bochy pulled him out for the bullpen, and then
yeah. I thought Matt Moore was okay. he never amounted to what he could have.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, again, on Sunday, maybe we could cover up the draft during the same day we do. What time's the game on Sunday? I'm guessing it's going to be a
1:00.
Okay, maybe afterwards we could hit during that live stream. We could hit up the draft as well.
Yes, we will do a draft coverage because we're going to talk about a couple guys that the Giants may be looking at. There's about 4 guys that fall into their category of where they're at. They pick number 16. So I think that game is at 1:00 Sunday. It's probably a 1:05 game. Let's see. It is a 1:05 game.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. So the draft's that night. And
well, maybe we'll have to do
we'll be live. In fact, we'll have Buster Posey and Farhan with us on the show, and Kyle Haynes, the director. Yeah, they'll all be with us, and they're going to let us in on what's going on. Yeah, right. Just kidding, everybody. That would be good, though. So
Mongo McDaniel.
Dan Los Mongo McMichael for the belt. Okay.
Mongo sucked as a wrestler.
Yeah. Anyway, do you guys remember Pat Patterson? You probably wouldn't remember.
I remember Pat. He used to.
You do?
No. He used to announce on WWE. Right? He was one of the.
He was one of the wrestlers when I was like a 7-year-old. Do you remember? Do you remember Kenji Shibuya?
Bless you.
My time.
All right. I'm going to give you a name, and I'm going to show him here to you guys. We're going to close this out. This will be fun. You guys probably don't remember this guy. Let me first get him up before he. Okay, he was one of my favorite wrestlers. I wish I could play it. Okay, let's see if I put his name up. Let's see who can. Put his picture up. Let's see if. Let me move this. Let me see if I can put. All right. Maybe if I can do that. All right. It's probably going to show his name, but see if anybody in the screen or I'm hoping Lowe's has a shot at an outside shot. Who is that?
Oh shit, that's one of your favorite wrestlers?
Do you remember who that is?
No, he's got the bib overalls rocking though.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh God. Uncle Elmer?
No. Come on.
There was
Anybody
a big dude that wrestled and he wore overalls and he was part of
Bam
this
Bam.
hillbilly threesome and his name was Uncle Elmer. That's the only dude I could think of.
Let me see if I can find. Look at how big this dude was.
Damn, that's like the 60s wrestling, huh?
Yeah. All right. I'm going to have to tell you, nobody's got his name. If I give you a clue and I said, hey, that's his first part of his first name. Hey.
Hey, you.
Hey. Cow Palace Dan. That's right. My uncle used to go watch him. Haystack Calhoun. Never heard of him, huh?
Calhoun.
He was in the day with Pat Patterson and what was the blonde guy that used to?
Okay, real quick. Who was your favorite tag team, Los?
Road Warriors.
The Road Warriors. You know who mine was? I love the British Bulldogs. Something about them.
They were good. Technicians.
Mm-hmm.
The Hart Foundation.
The Hart Foundation. How about the Bushwhackers?
Nah. They
Well,
were,
you didn't like that when they were licking
I mean,
everyone's
they
head?
had their little niche. I mean, I actually
Yeah.
like dudes that can actually wrestle.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
The Freebirds.
The Freebirds.
Freebirds.
How about the all the Von Erichs?
Oh, Kerry Von Erich was nasty. Shit, I liked
How
I
about
like
Well,
Ed-
Four Horsemen. I mean, they were more of an organization, but they had some
Edge and Christian could wrestle.
Oh, Edge and Christian. Yeah, they were good.
Edge and Christian could wrestle.
Or who's the
The Dudley Boys.
DX? Who was part of the DX?
Shawn Michaels and Triple
See,
H.
that was more of
how
a
about
group.
how about
though, too.
Demolitions? You guys mentioned them?
Demolition was just a spinoff of the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Okay.
like
Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik.
Harlem-
That was a
Harlem
classic
Heat.
tag team.
Harlem Heat.
Says that the tag team that held the title the longest was the Usos.
The who?
The Usos
Usos.
only recently lost the undisputed. I guess are they recent? I don't
love the Midnight Express too. I love their
I don't know
entrance
much
The
music.
about-
Midnight Express.
Love their entrance music.
Wasn't that was Shawn Michaels, wasn't it? And who was it? It was one of the
That was Sweet Stan and Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
yeah, I can't remember.
And with Jimmy Cornette, the mouth of the
Jimmy
South.
Cornette.
I remember the
Oh,
Samoans, the
Yeah, the
wild
tennis
Samoans.
racket.
Do you remember the wild
Yep.
Samoans?
Oh, Mark Hope, the Steiner brothers. How could I forget them? I love the Steiner brothers.
Yeah, Mark Grave, the Usos, or how is that?
who did you? Okay, how about managers? Who was your favorite manager?
I hated all managers, but if I was to pick one,
Yeah.
I'd pick one of the divas just so I could look at her. Sable.
Ooh,
How about
Elizabeth.
Bobby the Brain? Bobby
Miss-
the Brain, man. He was
Miss
such
Elizabeth with Macho Man.
not really a manager.
I know,
Not
but
really.
I enjoyed her more than Bobby Heenan.
Paul Bearer.
Yeah, I'm a
How
big
about-
Undertaker fan.
Remember
so-
Brother Love?
Oh, I hated that.
That
dude.
guy was weird. I
You
love you.
Love me.
Yeah. The
Oh,
Killer
I can't
Bees.
stand that. dude.
Luigi. I forgot about the Killer Bees.
I can't even believe that Los, you love WWE.
Oh, I
It's
love
good
wrestling.
stuff,
I grew up
man.
in
It's
it. I went
funny
to the Cow
because
Palace.
you love so much about the intricacies of the game and how everything
Yeah,
is
it's
so
awesome.
so real.
I could do some good impersonations of all of
trying-
them.
And
of
even
Hogan.
though it's all just
Oh,
It's entertainment.
and none of it's all staged and set up and everything.
Yeah, I
and you
just
still
see. I grew up in San Francisco in an era when I don't know there was a lot of shit talking. I went to a high school, Sacred Heart, that you had your Latinos over here, your Asians over here, your brothers over here, white dudes over here, but we all mixed together well. But we would all talk shit to each other, like back when you had to be thick skinned. I'll never forget going to play basketball at this gym in the Marina District. And you want to get better, play against the brothers. And I was the only non-black dude when I walked in. And the first thing is like, hey man, you go make me a taco. You ain't gonna be playing basketball out here. And that's how they talk shit. Was racist. And you took it. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But I understood how they started to play. I started to say, oh, you want to block everything. So I would block. They would go up and I would pump fake them and they'd come down and then I'd talk shit back to them. I'd say, yeah, go rob a liquor store, man. Come on. Oh, I'd go back and forth to them.
Oh, how about Steve Nash and Razor Ramon? I call him Razor Ramon, but wow, those two guys are badass too.
That's probably why I love wrestling so much, because I love like The Rock.
There you go, Chardal. He told you who Usos is. The Usos are
never
American
heard
professional
of that.
wrestling tag.
Ever.
They've been the top team for a while, I guess. I don't know. What about
Ric
now?
Flair.
Here's one for you guys. I bet you Los knows this. I bet you Los knows this. If I said it's the Bay Area Bombers versus the LA Thunderbirds.
Bay Area Bombers? Was that some rolling derby or something?
Roller derby, yeah. They had that was always fun to watch.
Yeah. What was that old school movie with James Caan? Was that Rollerball? Remember that one? In the 70s?
Yeah.
That movie kind of put Rollerball on the map. But
Haystack
made that at the Cow Palace.
Haystack
they did everything at the
Hall of Fame in 2017. There you go. Chardal's asking, can you do impersonation of The Rock? Dwayne, that's Dwayne Johnson, right? Is his real name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he did this with his eyebrow. He did this with his eyebrow all the time.
The Rock.
Didn't he do the Super Bowl in LA a couple years ago when he came out?
He pumped up the crowd for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Oh, Razor Ramon.
I'm
what
not
was he
Googling
known
it.
as
I'm not
before?
Googling it.
Razor Ramon's name before Razor?
Razor Ramon, his little glitch was he did a great Scarface. That was his glitch. He was the bad guy. Hey, you know something? You want to talk shit to the bad guy? You never seen a bad guy like me.
Scott Hall. Yeah, that's it.
Scott Hall.
Steve Nash and Scott Hall. Those guys are awesome.
He used to throw a toothpick at you, right?
Yeah, he always did. Before the match, he comes because he'd come out and throw his arms out and do his thing, and then he'd come up to the guy, get his toothpick, and just flick it.
You guys are saying Steve Nash. You mean Kevin Nash?
Kevin Nash. Sorry, Kevin Nash.
I'm hearing Steve Nash. I'm going Steve.
Yeah,
Kevin Nash was Diesel.
Yeah, that was Diesel. Yep.
Gosh, you guys know way. You guys want to stump me? Just start talking wrestling. Everything I know is from the 60s.
How about Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful? That guy, I loved his pile driver. His pile driver was the best.
He did one of the best pile drivers ever. He was nasty. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Paul Orndorff.
Yep.
Great wrestler.
Man, it's good to know we got.
I just love the theater. If you've never been to a wrestling match live, it's kind of hard.
I'll tell you what.
You know what I used to do?
You guys do a wrestling show. Put it together. put a thumbnail on there. I'll tweet it out, and you two just run the show, and it would be great if you got more than.
I bet you. Yeah, you advertise that. Watch the numbers, Eric. You run the board.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll just sit in the background, man, and I'll just hopefully people will put in some super chats, and we raise it.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so.
I know.
Oh yeah, Danny, I love that idea. Dig it.
I know.
Can you dig it?
I know this much about WWE. Okay.
You know what I used to love? I don't know if you did the same thing, Los. Remember, did you have a TV guide when you were a kid?
Yep.
What I would do every time I got a TV guide, I'd always go to Saturday to see if there was going to be a Saturday night's main event. You know how they only came on every so often? So every time we got the new TV guide, I was running to Saturday. Is there a Saturday night's main event? And if there was, man, I'd be so damn happy. God.
Right. When you get your software next week, Eric,
Yeah, sure.
and you get the new computer, you put out a thumbnail with a bunch of wrestlers on it.
Oh
and,
man, yeah, we
and
may actually get something going there.
We'll put something out, and
Sure.
we'll do a show with WWE
and WCW.
Maybe during the All-Star break would be good.
You know
there's
what?
Nothing else going on.
Oh when is the All-Star break?
Next Tuesday, the 11th is the.
That's when my computer shows up. So
okay, how about on the 12th?
Danny,
well, hold on, give me time. I got to learn how to do that. Probably if I get, let me work.
Danny,
out
what are you going to do if the
viewership
goes up to over 100 people for wrestling?
No games on the 12th. Giants don't play again until the 14th. So you got 2 days to get that up.
Oh my God!
And on the 13th,
ECW.
You'll be doing a WWE match. You watch what happens. You're going to be doing a WWE stream, and all of a sudden, Shohei Ohtani is going to get traded to the Giants, and we're going to be like, kill the WWE. Shohei.
Yeah, but you know what? He ain't going to go to the Giants.
Hey, if they trade it for him.
Yeah, you never know.
So
I think there's more wrestling fans than boxing fans, honestly.
I think so. Yeah.
But
ECW, that was a place where it was just mayhem. There was so much.
Is there
craziness.
more wrestling fans than baseball fans? You think? I mean, a lot of these guys I'm looking in the chat. Everybody seems to know something about wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, look at the arenas that they pack in.
Look at Chardal's comment. I'm Ric Flair, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun. I said, "Woo!" Is that what
he said?
Yep. Okay. Whether you like us or don't like us, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today.
Woo! Woo! I love that when he gave those little ones, those little. Woo.
I know those guys have choreographed moves, but sometimes those guys get hurt pretty bad.
They do.
My doctor Dr. Jeff Unger, if you out there in Chino, California, Dr. Jeff Unger, you go into his. I used to go into his office because he was my primary care physician in my early to mid 20s. Got pictures of all these wrestlers up on his wall, and he treated them.
Yeah,
they'd come to him. You know, they're probably I don't know what he was giving them. If he was giving them, maybe he was giving them roids.
So I'll leave it on this one thing. You'll love this one, but I'm starting to fade here a little bit. So
yeah, I'm really fading.
So I'll leave it with this. There's a wrestler that was named Rick Rude.
Ravishing
Rick Rude. So this dude had about as ripped a body as you can have. I mean, dude was like
he was
in
ripped.
shape.
He wasn't big, but he was ripped.
Oh, he was.
Hey, wait
ripped.
a minute, Mark. Hold on a sec. Mark, do you know Jeff Unger, Dr. Jeff Unger? I wonder if he knew that. He put that in there. Did he put that up before I said his name?
Oh no.
No, he put it up after you said it.
Oh, okay. I wonder if he knows of Dr. Unger.
So anyway, Ravishing Rick Rude, his gimmick was he'd come to the ring and he'd have his music going on and he'd say, "Cut the music." And he had a long robe and he said, he'd say, "Cut the music. Now I want all you fat, out of shape San Francisco swashbucklers to keep the noise down while I take my robe off and show the ladies what a real man looks like." So he'd take his robe off and he'd be ripped. And then he would ask a woman to come into the ring and he would pick one out and she would come into the ring and start making out with her.
No way.
Start making out. Now, it was probably somebody handpicked, but it was always a beautiful woman. I mean, he never kissed no ugly woman. So anyway, I'm in San Francisco watching this live and it's at the Cow Palace and he's doing this and he takes off his robe and he's like looking around and he's like, "Oh, forget it, man. There's nobody here that I see that I like. Now I know why they call this place the Cow Palace."
Oh.
Yeah, he played to the crowd.
Hey, and that was wrestling. Very entertaining.
Oh, man. I've never been to a WWE. Maybe it would be fun to go.
Oh, I mean, now it's not as fun as
Now
it
it's
was in the 80s
exactly.
and 90s when
okay.
Stone Cold and Rock were running it and Undertaker. Oh, it was great.
And you always knew when Vince was a heel or a face. If he was a heel, everyone would call him Mr. McMahon. When he was a face, they always called him Vince.
Yeah.
Did you know who was going to win the match?
No.
Before?
No.
You never knew?
No. That's the beauty is it might be choreographed and it might be predetermined, but they still got to go.
The fan
through
doesn't
it.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot
Was
of
there
people
wasn't there a guy that was always like the number one guy or?
Well, yeah, you had your baby
Hogan was
faces.
pretty much the one.
You had
Did
your
he ever
baby
lose,
faces
Hogan,
who were
though?
the good guys, and then you had your heels who were the bad guys.
The faces were all the quote unquote good guys, and the heels were all the quote unquote bad guys.
But when
Did Hogan ever lose though?
When Hogan turned bad, that was one of the biggest moments in wrestling history. He had been good for 25 years.
Oh, and he went to the dark side?
Say your prayers, take your vitamins, all that good stuff. And when he turned heel,
they didn't even know whether or not that was going to even happen. It was like, even when they were airing it, it's like they don't know whether Hogan's going to come out and actually do this.
I tell you what, Danny, when a certain wrestler or tag teams, their music hit, man, that crowd would be loud.
Bash at the Beach. That's where it happened. Bash at the Beach.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Well,
set that up, man. We'll
next week.
Yeah, we'll get something figured out. We'll get something figured out for sure.
You can get some wrestlers, put them in and then put.
Yeah, you just with Photoshop.
WWE.
It's not just WWE. It's like
I can bring 15 to 20 friends easily off the top of my head that would, if I tell them we're gonna have a wrestling show and they'll come in. They love talking wrestling. It's a good debate.
We will have it like something like this going for the music. Let's do. What could we do for them?
Well, see, the thing is everything. I wish we could play some of the music.
Here we go. This will be it for the wrestling. We'll come in with this.
Yeah, we might have to start out with
Yes. All right, everybody. Well, we're gonna close down. It's gonna be.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Whoa.
Oh, wait. Okay. Can you hear me over this music?
Yeah, I turned it down, so you're good.
All right, everybody. We're gonna close this out. Thanks for joining. I told you the Giants would win tonight, and I'm feeling good about them going into Colorado, coming into this series with Colorado. I think they get their mojo back, and they win at least 2 out of 3. But I'm hoping they get the first 2, and then I'll call a sweep. So for Eric, for Los D, thank you. Thanks for your support. Thanks for the super chats to Mark Hope. Did we have anybody else tonight from super
let's see
chats?
what we got. We got Mark Hope. We got Chardal. He donated.
He did.
Yeah,
Chardal donated.
Yeah, $2. Well, $1.99.
I didn't see that one. Did you
I
put it
forgot
up?
about that. Sorry, Dan. How
Put
would you
that
rate
up.
McCutcheon trade, or how would you rate McCutcheon on the Pirates?
Put that up. Is that a super
Cut
chat?
the music.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Cut the music.
There you go.
All right, Dan. How would you rate McCutcheon on the Pirates? I think he's been pretty good for the Pirates this year. He's not what he once was, an MVP anymore, but he's having a decent year. I think he's got about 10 homers, and he's hitting in the 280-ish, 285-ish.
There's a talk of a trade of him going to Texas too, supposedly.
Yeah, possibly. So, hey, thank you, Chardal, for the support. Sorry. What's that?
That's Stone Cold's music.
Oh, we can't do that.
Oh, can't.
No.
That's what kills us.
That's what I get
okay.
knocked off. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No.
My bad.
No worries.
Yeah. So
That's gonna kill our wrestling show. Okay.
yeah. So yeah. Thank you, Chardal. And hey, everybody, it has been awesome. We will see you Friday night, 10 o'clock, roughly, after the Giants game. And we will look for a special coming out on the channel. And until then, have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Woo!